go ahead and say this.
Why don't the boxes light up when people are talking? Holy shit.
What you just described there was like insanely dangerous.
Ooh, danger.
Hannah had brought up something happened to me and tried to derail the entire conversation. And obviously I'm going to be a little bit triggered when people try to weaponize like literal violence, racial violence, misogynist violence, sexist violence being used against me. So I'm sure when a black person is yelling, you just hear yelling. But no, what she had said was deeply harmful to me. So the fact that you just see it as me bullying sweet little white Hannah is a problem.
Okay,
that's a problem, baby.
I also want to know.
Arab people can be white.
Can we establish that?
Did she pull the meme card out? By the way, I was right, okay? Also, you need to bring back the phrase African American, okay? African American referred specifically to black people that are the descendants of slaves. They are different than just quote-unquote black people, or especially African immigrants. African American denoted something, okay, very particular. For some reason, we got rid of that designation, and like some groups of people have been trying to find these other expressions or phrases to replace that. And remember what I said before? BIPOC exists because black people are trying to talk about their racial issues while getting rid of like other classes of immigrants that they don't really want to deal with at all, namely Asians. And it's funny because she just said something here, if you heard it. One, do you remember that one clip? They get so lost in the in this like vernacular, it ends up happening.
Do you believe that you have a different relationship with the social and political systems in society based on who you are? You are a white, I'm assuming middle class Asian American.
Did he must have misspoke, right?
White presenting, I should say.
You know what, dude? Mad props for the double down. Call him.
True, actually. But I don't know if you heard it, but she just didn't hear it. Somebody's like, Hannah's actually Arab, and the lady's like, you can be a white Arab, which is technically true, but it's not actually what she meant. She just meant you're not black. And by not black, she means you're not African American.
Is a problem. Yeah, okay, that's a problem, baby.
I also want to know.
Arab people can be white.
Can we establish
it's not a race. Arab is not a race.
Y'all, please. I just also want to know again, right? So I do think it's really interesting, and you're not the only one doing this. I will say the comments are doing this either. This weird idea that nobody in here has ever done any sort of any kind of organizing or whatever. Why do you think Tabby said what Tabby said? What I said, what I said.
Nobody said that.
You did say that.
I said that nobody has organized anything. That came out of my mouth.
You literally did. I don't know if you forgot, but it was something
I said organize. No, what I said specifically, Ice, was that organizing people, 50 people to go out of state is not an easy job.
Nobody said it was. Nobody said it was. But what I'm trying to say.
Wait. Was that me saying that nobody?
Yes, because I specifically.
That's not what I mean. And that's not what
y'all. Can I please finish?
Okay.
So I specifically was.
She's being disingenuous. You started off by saying you started off by saying you don't know how hard it is to organize 50 people. That's
That's not what I said.
I also specifically like to say that I was one of the people. I would like to say that I was one of the people who have been specifically saying that this is severely disorganized, and that's when you came in and you said that. You don't know what you're talking about.
So you know what? Sorry. No, how about wait? Sorry.
This is exactly what.
Go ahead, Ice.
Okay, last one. Hold on.
Can I have a quick
Wait, Tabby, Allie wants to get that want to talk. We got come on.
Dang it, Riot! Why did you drop it?
I didn't drop. What? I didn't do
I like how I don't think we've discussed like anything of substance in here as well. Like nothing has actually gotten discussed. It's just like a bunch of people being insanely fucking soy over whether or not, I guess, a black queen got cut off or something. I'm not even actually sure.
Oh, I thought you said it was you.
Was what she said
I
not
said
face
that.
off
It
racism?
wasn't me.
Wait, was what she said not face off racism?
Yeah, it was. She's racist.
Oh my god!
Why did I just get blamed for this?
I'm sorry. Somebody said it was me. Was it you, Meadow?
No, I said that.
Can I just want to say something. Go ahead, Tabby.
Wait, actually, wait, hold on.
I
This is what we're going to do.
I kind of want to say this is.
I kind of really want to gain control of my own panel and y'all please let me speak.
I want to hear from Z, right? We said a lot towards Z. I want to hear from Tabby. Tabby hasn't been able to speak for 10 minutes. We have to have some type of order, and that's the reason why I had the show thingy on. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and let Tabby speak, and then as soon as Tabby's done, Z, I'm gonna put you on the top and give you 2 minutes to explain everything. Are you cool?
That's not fair. Z was in the middle of speaking when she was dropped.
Okay, so y'all want Z to go first, and then Tabby?
She was in the middle of this entire fucking
I got you. 1 second. Z can go first, and then Tabby, and then we'll go back to
yeah,
regular
let her
panel.
finish. You can't say she's got to finish and then put people before her when she was in the middle of speaking.
You know what? You're right. You
Go
wake me up there. Wait,
No,
hold on.
I was just going to explain what the tour stop is for. So the tour,
I'm actually going to put you first. 1 second. I need y'all. I want to make. I'm not because I refuse to do the over speaking thing again. That was really frustrating, even for
Also,
me.
let's try and do this without being microaggressive. Thank you.
Yeah,
That as well, 100%.
And can you also please just like
scream at the top of your lung and then
I'm sorry.
Scream.
Oh no,
I'm just
guys.
asking you, do you guys want to hear about the tour, or are we just like?
I would like for you to answer the
Wanna yell
It's
at
question.
me.
okay. It's okay.
No, we're talking about
You got a
microaggressions.
minute. It's okay. Z, you got a minute. So sorry if you want a little bit longer.
No, it's fine. A minute's great. So, I mean, the whole purpose of following Charlie on this specific tour is because Charlie's been doing this for 15 years with zero pushback from the Democratic Party. He goes to these college campuses, he goes into these frats, he infiltrates them through Turning Point USA, and that's why we've seen a massive increase in Gen Z, specifically young white male Gen Z voters. That is one of the areas that our organization actually. So that way we don't continue to lose voters through the process. So we figured who would be the best people to speak to those voters, and we picked Parker and Dean for that specific reason, because if we're trying to go after white young boy voters, we should go after them with young white boys, right? That makes sense.
Young white
this is not going
boys.
to be the only thing that we do. We are going to continue to go to other places and go for other communities and try to get people registered to vote. That is the purpose of this. We can't do voter registration on this very first stop because we don't have the infrastructure.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm gonna let you go, Tabby. Then we'll go back to what she wanted to finish.
I wanted to have a one-on-one with her. Really, that's why I'm okay with letting her finish. But I wanted to have a dialogue.
Assuming she got disconnected, right?
Without
Like by accident, not intentionally.
Let me take you this off real quick then, if that's the case.
They muted her? No, shut up. She must have gotten disconnected, right?
I'm gonna let her finish her sentences.
Oh my god.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That was her minute?
All right. Z, if you wanted to finish your sentence.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, I was just saying that that's the purpose of National Ground Game and this tour is to register voters to vote, okay? Because we're going to defeat MAGA. That's all I was here to say. I'm going to now exit. I appreciate the feedback. If you guys want to give us more feedback, please do. As I said, we will be going to other communities.
Do you actually appreciate that feedback?
I just want to say something, and she did.
Damn.
I thought Erica was going to come up here before Isaac. Maybe something. I don't know what happened there.
I didn't see her.
But I definitely want to hear from Erica because
Or is this a different
I
one?
like her.
I had some
Dean is in the comments sitting here saying about who me.
I have some questions.
Oh no, I see Dean. If Dean wants to come, he can as well. But I'm not. Like I said, I want to hear from people. If you guys want to speak on it, it's perfectly fine. But
I have some
go ahead,
questions
Tabby.
real quick.
Hello, Jimbo. Do you support Trump?
All right. Apparently, we have Dean versus one of the people here. One sec.
I don't know if you heard me there, but essentially, I think that you've done a lot of really good things.
Why didn't you talk about any of those when you were on live earlier, though?
Paying what?
When you were on live earlier, why not bring that up when you're
On live earlier, like referencing like this live, but when it's
Come on.
Talk about what specifically?
all you had to say was negative things about and how you guys were heroes for speaking up about
Okay,
this.
so apparently this guy, is this a black guy called Peyton, who is the one trying to say that this whole project should be shut down based on those microaggressions, I think? Okay, I think.
Now, but I'm just super curious why that.
Fuck me,
why
dude.
that didn't come up earlier.
Oh, Destiny viewer spotted. I'm super curious. Uh-oh.
That I was super cool for speaking out about this.
I mean, I think that if you would like listen to me since I begun the live, I mean, I started this.
I did actually. I've been watching the entire time.
Ooh.
Okay, well then I mean, you know that I haven't been having conversations about how I'm a hero.
Actually, you have multiple times, but that's okay. I have a question for you.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Pan, before we move on, would you be able to like quote like specific instances just so I could better understand what like?
Debate broing, a BIPOC, by the way. That's a microaggression.
You want me to quote specific?
Oh wait, no. Peyton is apparently a white guy. Okay. Just correcting the record.
Instances of you acting like you know what's going on?
No, like me claiming to be a hero. Because I just
so
like when I
every
understand.
time where you were like, guys, I don't know if you know this, I have a massive platform, and when you're this cool and have a massive platform, you should be the one speaking up about these things. Actually, so I know that if I would have spoken up, I would have had this shit shut down like that. But I didn't, obviously, because I wanted money from the campus and all the views that I would get from Charlie Kirk. But I have a question for you.
Real quick, I want to respond to that. I think that like maybe you misinterpreted my point, and I don't mind reiterating it.
Go ahead.
So I started this live off by saying that I think that essentially everybody needs to take accountability for their actions.
Meanwhile, Destiny, what is this?
It's disingenuous, especially to Black women who have to live in those neighborhoods and the Black children.
Thank you as a Black woman for showing up to show that retardation can transcend both gender and race.
Their actions. But like especially
See, that was being inclusive. You see how I said everybody can be retarded regardless of your gender or race? That was the opposite of microaggression.
Especially people with like more societal influence or power. And like I recognize like myself as an individual with like influence because of the platforms that I run, which I think sets like a very important precedent on myself and other larger creators to like really be critical about themselves and their own actions and be accepting of accountability. I wasn't like trying to like say that I'm a hero. I was more so just trying to like reiterate the sentiment that I feel as if like constructive criticism and conversations about accountability are very important.
Fantastic.
What?
I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Right, but that's a completely different sentiment than like the sentiment that you're describing of saying that like I wanted to be a hero.
Oh, that's the vibe that I got earlier, and that what we were all laughing in the room about. But
laughing.
I am super curious.
Do you think that your vibe changed?
Oh, another super curious
What,
coming up.
after the clarification?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's better to get that message out there than anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet
okay.
God.
Yeah. Basically, I'm curious. Who was made on? Why was I kicked off the tour? I'm genuinely asking what you were told as to why I was kicked off the tour.
So I wasn't like told anything about specifically why you were kicked off the tour. In fact, I think I was told that you left the tour. But like I guess I'd more so be a question for the organizers. But I don't think they'll be organizers for too much longer.
I actually have a question about that too. So Parker made it clear in his Discord that she was just going to be stepping away from social media, right? And I'm curious, as the organizer, right? So like National Ground Game, that's her, right? Unfuck America, that's her, right? What moving forward, I guess, if you guys were going to move the Unfuck America tour forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
What steps would you guys take to better ensure this doesn't happen in the future?
Okay, well, I mean, first I want to correct you. It's not just merely her stepping away from social media. The hope is that she'll completely step away from the pack, literally leave it. She's
Well,
not
what if she doesn't?
associated, and then we leave the pack.
God damn it.
And do what exactly?
And figure out how to continue the Unfuck America.
Wait, so, okay, am I missing something for anybody that knows? Do they really want her to, so was she like the lead organizer, or she was just a big organizer? They wanted her to leave this entire project because she came in and told people not to call it a clusterfuck or say it was super disorganized? That was enough of a microaggression that they want her completely gone? How much work did this individual do to organize all this stuff? Jesus. Feels kind of brutal, but okay.
A tour without National Ground Game.
I'm just curious why it didn't happen sooner, I guess. I guess it just seems like the timing is a little bit weird, given that my video is about to hit 1 million the day before you post this. You know what I mean? Like it just seems really weird, especially because we did have a dialogue privately. And I will say I'm not going to share those. Obviously, I said I wouldn't share those, okay?
Yeah, so
The
I mean,
clout
I've already kind of talked
accusations.
about why nothing happened before I went to Texas, and I've pointed out that that was obviously
God damn it.
However, like when I got back from Texas in Colorado, I mean, like essentially from that moment until right now, it has been working with other creators on the tour, having conversations with said creators, and figuring out how to navigate the fact that this is
God damn it, what the
political
fuck?
organization, with
What is happening?
Leadership and $100,000 that they have raised off of the
Damn.
engagement. that wants to continue the engagement.
Are you fucking kidding me? Now in a dragon?
A handful of days to get from where we were to where we are now
100K.
was literally like unionizing the creators to give leverage for demands against the pack of like specifically either having Z resign or making like a promise insofar as where that $100,000 will be spent. I'd say like that was like the biggest like physical limiter insofar as why nothing happened earlier was trying to navigate and deal with the fact that they had $100,000 like sitting in their bank account, and that we just wanted to make sure that that $100,000 is like spent on like, you know, pushing more progressivism in the country. And now, like, I will also say that I should have set more of a precedent on ensuring that things move faster, because I think that for a lot of the time I've spent in like the last 4 or 5 days focused on this, it has been really clouded by anxiety and this idea.
Someone said she is the main organizer, the owner of the pack.
Like what the fuck do I do? How am I going to achieve my goals of ensuring that either this organizer holds herself accountable and like we see like a genuine sense of her recognizing that what she did was wrong and she's not going to do it again and she's going to actively and consciously work on deconstruction, or she's going to be out. And
could I ask a question?
It took us a while to kind of get to where we are now, but I think it could have moved more efficiently. I agree.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it would have been moving more efficiently if you weren't deleting comments referring to my video and people referring to Z as racist in general and those stuff? Like, do you think it would have moved maybe a little bit faster if we were publicly talking about this?
Dude, he fucking
Z,
got
I've never,
him.
sorry, not
He
Z.
fucking
Peyton, I've
got
never
him.
deleted a single comment on any of my posts. That is a lie. Well, I mean, actually, let me rephrase that, because I think a lie would inquire intent. I don't know if you're intentionally lying, but that is misinformation. It's not true.
I have proof if you would like to see it.
I would love to see it, because I haven't deleted a single comment off of any of my videos.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Uh-oh.
Can you
Sounds
show
good.
proof?
Yeah, it'll come up in the video. Don't worry.
Can you show it on live?
Why would I do that?
Because there's 9,000 people listening into our conversation, and you just made a claim.
He just wants to own it for
that I've been
YouTube.
deleting comments on my videos.
Damn.
Well, because you have, but like again, I'll show it in my video. It's not a big deal. One more question.
Why won't you show it now? If you're gonna put it on in a video on your account, I mean, it's obviously you have the intention of going public with it. So why not go public with it now?
Because it's not the time for it.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you,
Oh my God.
Who I've gotten these things from?
without you
Don't worry
showing the
about it.
proof? Well, 1 second, Payne. Without you like showing the proof yourself, would you be able to like describe what the proof looks like?
Nah.
It looks like a comment
that
that
was
was
deleted.
on your profile,
And then you
that
deleted it.
that was on your video, that was then not there.
Okay.
Cycled over and over and over.
What is the mechanism of demonstrating that it was posted on the video, it was on the video, and then it disappeared from the video? Like
Screenshots?
Caught him.
Like, okay, so
And multiple people saying that you were deleting their comments? Like, what do you mean?
Whoa.
So I mean,
and
I've
people
like seen
said it.
comments of people claiming that I've deleted their comments. I mean, I think that there's a couple likelihoods here, because I know with certainty I didn't delete anybody's comments. Sometimes TikTok will restrict comments. I mean, you're a large creator. What pops up at the bottom of the comment section? It says "see filtered comments." B, the OP could have deleted it
Listen, I'm trying to
themselves.
squirm away
or
from
C, their comments were just simply lost inside of the comment section. I mean, I know, like, for instance, when Charlie Kirk had released a video,
Talking about
I
Charlie
commented
again.
under it and I said, dude, this makes you look so bad. Obviously, that comment is seemingly not filtered by TikTok because I didn't say anything explosively wrong, but then I went back to the comment section and I thought it was gone. Turns out it was just deeper in the comment section. But I do know at the end of the day, like, I seriously haven't deleted any comments on any of my videos, and I have also seen people in my Discord attest to this. Like, for instance,
now he's basically accusing
I
him of being
think that
retarded,
there was
hmm?
somebody in my Discord that has, been echoing criticisms of myself for quite some time. And of course, like, that's what we're here to discuss. I agree with it. I think it's a good thing. But they did say in the comment section that their comments have never been deleted, as well as like the comments of others. But listen, at the end of the day, I know with certainty that I haven't deleted anybody's comments because I'm me, and I really don't think that like there's any proof of me doing that either, because it's not something I've done.
Okay.
I really wish if you.
I'm choosing to believe you.
Wait, why would you choose to believe me? You said you had proof.
I do have proof, but you're saying that TikTok could have moderated it. You're right. There was a million different reasons as to why the comments couldn't have showed up. I'm
Did
conceding.
you just learn that?
Is that not what you wanted?
No, that's awesome. I appreciate you for that. Go ahead.
I'm not an actual dick. Like, I'm here to talk too.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, Peyton?
Please.
Doesn't sound like it. But
There's
okay.
like I guess so. There was one reservation I had with you, and like by the way, I just want to reiterate the sentiment that two things can be true at once, and I think that you've done a lot of good. Okay, I want to make that one. I want to make that one clear. I believe that nuance is important, and just because you've done one thing that I don't like doesn't mean everything you've done is something I want to like. In fact, there's things that you've done that I'm highly appreciative of. But one thing that you've done that I don't like, that you know.
Hold up. Part 2.
Maybe you could address is a fact that after you'd posted a video claiming that there was black women that went on the trip that did not have their travel covered, I then DM'd you, and in private, I asked you to please tell me what the names of the black women were so I could take care of it myself. You then like refused to tell me the names of them, and then
Absolutely.
like started making fun of me, talking about like
because
designer Coach
Dean would
bags,
harass them.
and
Yeah,
I didn't really respond to you making fun of me, and then I just asked you again if you could like please tell me the names of the black creators so I could take care of it myself.
Hey, boy.
You refused to. And I was just wondering why you'd refuse to.
Because
it was a case that I like genuinely.
Because it's not my place to release their names. And
Bro, what? This is crazy. Also, this Peyton guy, by the way, I have several black friends. He's called them the N-word and other racial slurs, but it's not my place to speak for them, so I'm not going to say who it was. But
you guys acting as if I did is crazy. People talking about me bringing up people who were affected by this trip, people who should have been paid, who you admitted should have been paid. Acting as if it wasn't a big deal is insane.
True.
Acting like what isn't a big deal?
Are you serious?
The people on the live who were talking about the fact that they paid their own way, but they were going to get reimbursed. They were going to XYZ.
Hey, I DM'd you in private because I thought it was a big enough deal for me to privately DM you, ask you not to share my DM with anybody so I could personally turn around and reimburse them. And you said that it wasn't like you didn't have the right to give me their names.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, like...
But you know their names.
You don't have the right to give him the names of somebody that worked on their own project who said they didn't get paid by them? Like, what?
I think this is my reservation. Because, like, the purpose that I would expect out of, like, a good faith actor posting the videos in which you have would be like to hopefully like achieve accountability to try
because
to
it's accountability from the organization, not from one person trying to.
Would you please allow me a moment to finish without interrupting me?
Okay.
To achieve accountability and like to try to do your part in righting the wrongs. And I mean, like when I DM'd you asking you like specifically what their names were so I could personally reimburse them, like when you like refused to tell me who they were and you just kind of made fun of me, it kind of felt like. And in that circumstance, like you didn't really care if they were reimbursed or not for apparently the travel they had to go out of pocket for.
Justice needs to be served from the people who were the ones committing the crimes, not somebody who wants to make themselves feel better.
Oh.
What do you mean make myself feel better? It was a private conversation.
It was a private conversation where you could feel like a hero for getting the names and reimbursing these people who should have been paid in the first place.
Are you serious, Peyton? Wait,
Yes.
so you're saying that I did something wrong and self-centered and narcissistic by DMing you, asking you keep our conversation private so I could try to personally reimburse them?
Yep.
And your explanation is because I did that all to...
Yes, because why do you want to keep their stories private, bud?
Bro, are you... Wait,
That's
no,
what I mean.
I didn't want to keep their stories private. I wanted to keep the fact that I reimbursed them private.
At that point in time, you hadn't said a single thing publicly about any of this. How could I have trusted you when there were people on the tour lying about me?
You don't have to trust him, dipshit. You literally are giving him the names of these people. You literally already have the information. What is this guy talking about? What?
With no repercussions.
Trusted me to do what?
To not just be trying to pay these people off.
How could he do that? You have all the info.
Again, I don't know you. You don't know me, right?
Sorry.
If you can
I
like some things about me and like some things about you.
What do you mean pay them off, Peyton?
Reimbursing them
is a good thing?
Could be considered a payoff if they are to keep quiet afterwards. Because they've had everything taken care of, so now everything's swept under the rug, everything's good, we can move on.
Are you joking, Peyton? Yo, dude, are you serious? Wait, so I want to get this clear. You're literally saying that you didn't want them to be reimbursed.
Soy mode
so,
activated.
they would continue to feel the impact of not being paid for when the white creators were, so they'd continue to talk about it?
Ooh, the reverse.
That's insane, bro.
The
I'm
reversal.
sorry. That's fucking nuts, Peyton. That is nuts. You're like, you want to perpetuate a continual disadvantage of the black creators compared to the white creators. So like you could continue to talk about that disadvantage?
Peyton, are you serious?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, Peyton.
He's not
Please.
sorry, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Feel free to.
You're not mute me. Can I talk now?
Spoiler
Go
alert.
ahead.
He's not sorry.
Yeah, so that's not true, obviously. Again, I didn't know any of your intentions. I knew you had had private conversations, and I knew you had lied about not knowing about that live. So, yes, I fucked with you a little bit. And yes, obviously, I wasn't going to give up the names of these people because I didn't know your intentions at the time, and I didn't know, personally, who I could trust on this tour because people were lying about me. So, yes, I'm not going to divulge their names, but getting their story out there so that they can tell their story eventually to get reimbursed by the people who fucked them over. Didn't say it was you. Right?
Right?
Is
I have
what's
a question.
important.
Pan, would you feel like now that I've made my intentions clear, like verbalizing their names in a private DM to me so I could still try to take care of it?
No.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If it was okay with them. Like, I'll ask them.
Yeah,
but
thank you. Respect.
Okay.
Black people. Yes.
At the time, you had said nothing out loud about any of this.
So you tell me now?
To anyone.
So you tell me now. Okay. All right. Okay, then something else you said there. You said that I lied about not knowing about like what was said and the fact that Z had made racist remarks on the live.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have the Signal group chats screenshotted.
Ooh, why are they using Signal?
You were at least made aware of what was going on.
Peyton, if you read my
I read the message.
Peyton, will you please show me a screenshot of my chats in the Signal chat from that?
Yes, it was you saying that you were at your grandparents. What's going on with Z on this live? In the middle of them explaining what was going on with Z in this live.
So I commented 2 times in the Signal group chat, like specifically saying that I was not there. I was at a dinner with my grandparents. Tell Z to get off this live. I was made.
You said what's going on with Z on this live, by the way, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I put my phone in my pocket and ate my food. Okay.
Fantastic. That's great. And then forgot about what was going on, and then tried to push it aside, and then go to Texas A&M and party with Z after Texas A&M, and then act like you weren't okay with all of this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you want me to kind of reiterate some of the sentiments that I've shared so far in this live as it relates to the fact that I still did go to Texas A&M, the idea that I think that was under
yes, I think you did not care about this. I think you did not care about this until these videos started to take off and their voices started to get out there because you have a personal vendetta against one of them, which is fine. But at the end of the day...
Wait, I'm so sorry. Dude, okay, so you just said I didn't care about this because I had a personal vendetta against
No,
one
not
of them?
just that, but I did say you did have one, and you do have one with one of them, yeah.
You're not gonna lie. Who are you referencing?
You know who I'm referencing.
Who's he referencing? Sorry.
Because you have a personal vendetta against one of them, which is fine. But at the end of the day...
Wait, I'm so sorry. Dude, okay, so you just said I didn't care about this because I had a personal vendetta against
No,
one
not
of them?
just that, but I did say you did have one, and you do have one with one of them, yeah.
You're not gonna lie. Who are you referencing?
You know who I'm referencing, Dean. Like, can we fucking not, dude?
I mean, I don't know if the 10,000 people listening do.
Yeah, but you do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not gonna send her.
We have an audience of 10. Okay, so sure, we don't want to send them an audience of 8. That's actually fair. That's a good idea because of what I'm about to say. That's fine. So you're referencing one of the women that was involved. Okay, and you're saying that I have a personal vendetta against them. I feel like that's a very unfair way to describe reality.
I said that's one of the reasons.
Will you just allow me to finish?
Focus in on a single reason.
Will you allow me to finish?
I gave multiple reasons, Dean.
And I will happily address them, but I just want to have a conversation about this one specifically. Because you're saying that I have an unfair, like a personal vendetta against one of the women. So, I mean, it is the case that one of the women has called for my public execution before.
After what, Dean?
After what? Like Dean deserved that? What did Dean say or do? Doom, 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 doom. Hold on. I need that on my soundboard. One day we'll have the soundboard again. Oh, wrong. I did the wrong thing. He said, they called for my public execution.
Before, has called for my public execution before.
After what, Dean?
Okay. Did he Make a tweet not unequivocally condemning the genocide in Gaza. That would be 1. 2, say the phrase black people. 3, in some minor conflict, not side with the person who was of the higher minority status. Or 4, for being white.
After a friendship that ended.
Oh my god.
Okay, being white 4. It was D. I guess.
What do you?
Are you recording?
Oh wait. What do you mean after what?
What was it?
No, Peyton. What do you mean after what?
Dean.
What the? What do you mean after what?
Oh, was the Harry stuff? Was that it? Dean.
Dude, like,
come on, Dean. Dean, are you serious right now? I think Dean is serious.
You've got to be fucking with me, right? Like,
bro.
Peyton, with all due respect, you're the one that just said after what when I said that somebody had personally called for my death. I guess I'm gonna ignore that if you want.
It's not my story to tell, Dean, and you know what the fuck happened, man.
Oh, why did I keep
Quite frankly, I have no clue what you mean by saying after what. But here's what I was going to say to begin with.
It's not my story to
I don't
tell.
think it's okay to equivocate the fact that yes, like one of those women had said some very like hurtful and harmful things about me in the past, and like that has definitely does mean that I do not like that individual. However, I don't think just because
you know that woman is black, right? You think you can just not like somebody who's black, or
I do not like an individual, that therefore microaggressions being perpetuated against them are like justified, valid, or therefore okay.
Then again, why not speak out about it?
So I mean,
why allow people to keep silencing these black women until you felt it was appropriate to speak up about it?
True.
Whether it be for your fans who you could have easily reimbursed for their plane tickets, whether it
Dean
be
has an
for
answer for this guy.
the pack or the group, why?
So
like,
I mean,
why would
so
anyone?
You did say like that you've been listening since the moment I kind of came on this live stream, and I've kind of like I've repeated this a couple of times now, and I don't mind going it over again with you, man, especially because that means that there's also a lot of new people that are tuning in. So the reason why I didn't speak up about it loudly before I left for Texas was because
it's because your fans paid for plane tickets and you felt like you'd be letting them down, and I understand. But like you make like $700,
and do you mind if you let me finish for myself without interrupting me?
$700 alive. I feel like you could.
I'm gonna interrupt you now.
$700
You interrupted me while I was speaking. So, anyways, to finish what I was saying, yeah, it's because I didn't want to let fans down that either had plane tickets or were driving into the event. But like in retrospect, like that is me describing why I did what I did. That isn't me justifying it. And I just like want to continually repeat this. I had a conversation with another creator earlier today, and they kind of made me really recognize why that was a bad
problematic
thing.
this is. Yes.
What I should have done is I should have broken the status quo, right? I should have been able to say, like, no, that was wrong, Cutthroat. She either needs to hold herself accountable before I hop on my plane, or she needs to leave the position of being the organizer of the pack before I hop on the plane, or I'm not hopping on the plane, right? That's what I should have done, okay? That is what a mature, mindful person should have done, and I didn't do that, and I fucked up.
Look at how he's trying to be the hero.
Listen, I don't care that we just got done having a conversation where I thought you said some crazy shit. I will still tell you that you're right on this point specifically, okay? And you are. You are right. I should have done that, and I did not do that. And I think at the time, I was more so thinking like, okay, like she's inevitably going to hold herself accountable, right? Like, or okay, like this is, I'm just one of the creators there. I'm going to talk to Charlie Kirk and have this progressive movement on campus. Like, okay, like I'm going to talk to her and I'm going to convince her that what she did was wrong. I was also scared and anxious, and I don't think that was
justifying, explaining his emotions.
Actually, in fact, I know that was a bad response of mine.
Bad, just bad. That's it. Minimizing. So we have justifying, minimizing, and now let's get to the.
It's not that I think; it's that I know that was a bad response.
Hold
of
on.
mine.
Wait. Don't worry. There's another one. Next one. Now gaslighting.
You're a cherub of a human being, Dean.
What's that?
Nothing.
Well, I'm so sorry. If you're gonna say something, say it with your chest. What did you say?
I said you were a cherub of a human being.
That was a gaslight.
That word, man. I'm sorry. I don't.
He doesn't know what a cherub is. Isn't that what? Isn't that what God set on fire in front of Moses? I have no idea actually.
Cherub means.
That's like a nice little doll, but like a nice.
Oh, is it a doll? Oh, what am I thinking of? Is there a cherub bush? Cherub is an angel. Well,
person.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm like gonna assume that like you don't actually mean that.
I did actually.
Wait, how did so many people say I'm wrong and right at the same time? It's the lowest rank of angel. I am so confused right now. Okay. Baby angel guy.
I think you're half right. I think you realized what you did was wrong. I think you saw that a lot of people agreed that what was going on was wrong. I think you were okay with them silencing these black women's voices until it fit your ability to be the cool guy again and be like, I shut down this tour. I think it's a little gross, man.
True.
That's why I met you with hostility last night. And to be fair for everyone here,
okay.
I did not know for a fact whether or not Dean was reaching out to me.
I swear to God, I know you're not going to believe me. I know you're not going to believe me, but I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just really trying to be honest.
What? What?
No. I think that is wrong, and I don't think it should happen.
Is anybody buying this shit? That Dean isn't intentionally trying to silence black women's voices?
I never think that you should be okay with those actions occurring, and I think that my initial reaction was completely fucking half-assed and I stand by that position, regardless of the amount of eyes that were on it or how it impacted me. In fact, you know, like, I hope that like you believe this too, because I personally reached out to you and I asked you to keep a conversation private when I was trying to like remedy.
And I kept it private. I don't know why you keep saying I asked you to keep a conversation. I kept it private.
Yeah, Dean.
And when I was trying to hopefully remedy some of the unjust things that had occurred based upon your claim that some of the black women on the trip weren't paid. But listen, at the same time,
right now.
I know what you're saying as well.
Right?
Because when you're saying like, oh, I was okay with it until it personally started impacting me because the videos you made got attention. Well, I feel like I've seen that a billion times where somebody does something wrong and they fuck up, and then the only reason they speak out about the fact that they think they did something wrong
they got caught.
Was because they got called out for it on the internet and it was going to start affecting their livelihood. And I guess that there's no way I could prove to you that that's not what I'm doing.
Yes, you can actually. I have a perfect way.
Yeah, you got a perfect way. It involves time travel though, because it's something you should have already done.
Okay.
The money that you've made from this tour and the videos on this tour, give it to those creators.
Damn! Wait, what? They got what? What did they get? Stiffed a $300 plane ticket, and now he wants them to get what? Thousands of dollars in reimbursement? Holy shit! Wait, how much money would that be?
Who were affected by Z, or any creators on the tour as well that need to be reimbursed.
How much is Dean gonna cuck out to this? Oh boy.
So overall, to this point in time, I have net loss income over the tour.
Imagine if we just wrote them all bills, like invoiced them. Okay, I did it.
But I'm like still okay with having that conversation. I just want to make it incredibly clear that I've net loss income over the tour. But
I'm not asking. I'm not forcing him to do this. I'm just saying that's something that would make
if you want,
if you were a good human,
we could have a follow-up conversation about that, because I mean, I still don't mind having that conversation. I think that that's a good thing to do. I think that's a great idea. If you want to talk further about that, that's something we could do.
Fantastic. I have a couple more ideas that I think you could be doing better with your platform.
Oh, cool. Go ahead. What do you got, dude? Yeah.
Okay.
This is
I
the
do
Dean
see that
criticism
there
In
hour.
terms of platforming voices.
I do see that there's
More
somebody
blacks.
else on the tour, Simple Black Theory, that has been requesting to come up on the live and specifically talk to you. Is it okay if I bring them up, Peyton?
I can't talk to Haji in public yet. I have to talk to him personally.
Why? What? Haji? What is that? Johnny Quest?
Okay, so you'd prefer to talk to him personally.
You can bring him up though.
Okay, it's up to you.
I've said all. I have to go anyway.
Oh, hit him up with the gotta go.
He's been requesting to come up. I just want to make sure that it's okay with you because you did, of course, come up here for a one-on-one conversation. I just want to ensure that that is okay with you if I add him. I don't want to like.
If he's come, yes, I want you to add him, but I have to go because I have to talk to him personally.
Okay, well, I mean, if you have to go, then it may be better just to like not add him because like I'm just gonna be obvious. Like obviously, what's gonna happen is like a conversation is gonna begin between you and Simple Black Theory, and it'll likely like keep you on the live longer than you're.
I will not be speaking with Ohaji. I'm sorry, Ohaji.
Yo.
There's just a lot more stuff that we.
Is his name a Haji or is he like a Haji? Like Haji is like a adjective or something. What is or a noun? What is a Haji? Ohaji? Is that his name? It sounds like a base slur that I've just never heard before.
Still got to talk about like interpersonally that I can't, but I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to stay here and listen.
That's fair.
Cool?
Here's what I want to say. There was at least 10 plus Black creators that came on that tour that were actually there in Texas A&M.
Okay.
And I can sit here and say that I promise that you didn't talk to all 10, if not half of those creators.
Damn.
I talked to 3 creators, yes.
3 out of 10.
Out of 10.
And one of which was me. And I told you
3 out of 10 Black creators. You know what that kind of sounds like? Sounds like 3 out of 5, which sounds like the 3/5 compromise, which sounds like this guy's a fucking racist. Just saying.
you should have spoken to all of them. I even took the time to explain to you that the situation at hand is a lot deeper. And in that message, you told me that the people that you were protecting, you didn't even know.
Ooh.
So to sit here
and pretend
and to hear all these things, I feel like it's totally unfair. And when we have this discussion, you're gonna get a real mouthful because what you did was so unfair. Not only did you put an idea amongst me, but other Black creators. There's Black creators that were on this trip that now has to protect their ideas because they were seen as they didn't want to protect themselves, that they didn't seem less than. We were called DEI hires because of your video. And I feel like that was so unfair because you took the time to talk about the Black creators
without
there,
talking to
but
them.
didn't take the time to talk to all of us.
True.
May I respond?
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair at all to put on me.
We need, you know, to fix all this bullshit. We need to put all the Black people on one tour, and we need to put all the white people on another tour, and it'll just fix all the problems, okay?
In a video where I am simply calling out the behavior of one individual on the tour, where I multiple times say, I have an issue with a singular individual. This does not reflect the Unfuck America tour. I have an issue with one person who did this thing last night that was horrible.
And I had no problem.
At the end of that video, I then said, my opinions are my opinions alone. Any creators...
He didn't listen to him. He hit him up with the, these opinions don't represent everybody. He had the clause in there. He's safe. He's safe. Safe.
That are going on this tour. I have nothing to do with them. I'm friends with a lot of them. I hope they have a great time. I'm gonna be like literally
yes, but look, I didn't disagree with that video. I even said, listen, I didn't think you said anything crazy in that video, and then you made that second video, and I wasn't even notified. That second video is what the real problem that I have. Was that second video. That second video put the understanding as if these Black creators was treated as such, while you did not know in the background that these Black creators was working on stuff. was actually trying to remedy certain stuff, but it couldn't be remedied because we have someone out here trying to expose stuff without having.
Oh my God! So they were their stories to tell, and this white boy Peyton stepped up and told them. Ooh, Peyton wasn't ready to fight with. Is this Parker or Dean? Dean's black guy. Now Dean's black guy. Do you think if Peyton pulled a black guy into this would be fucking cinema? Please God, say Peyton has his own black guy that he's gonna pull in. Please God.
Having the full things. If I asked you, who are the 3 people that you were talking to? Are you able to give me those 3 creators?
No.
Yes.
Ooh.
Who are
personally?
Who? He won't say it publicly, bro.
Personally? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But
currently, right now, Z is trying to find who else was giving me information, and I can't.
Oh, Z, the lyncher. She's gonna go after these black creators. It'll be all over for them if she finds them. That Z person is up to some real shit. Careful.
And I just can't give that up here.
That's fair. I just felt like honestly,
retarded, okay.
I honestly felt like what you did was exactly what you're adamant about, and it's the white savior complex. Honestly,
I'm sorry. I'll set this up. I'm sorry. I'll set my soundboard up. My bad, guys. That would have been the Vine boom right there. Okay. Fuck. I'm sorry. I gotta set up right now. Okay. Fuck. He came up with the white savior complex.
Wanted to talk to you in a deeper understanding of this was because I even came here and sat there that the people in that panel had every right to say the things that they wanted to say, and Z was wrong. But at the same time, the people that were in that panel had some malicious intent. They said some things that were wrong. They inflated some things that were unfair and made us feel like garbage.
Absolutely. And again, I am not talking about those. I need to reiterate this for everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
I am not here defending anything those black women said on that live.
But you're protecting them.
I'm not protecting them.
That's what you said.
Okay, standing up against racism, Ohaji, is not the same thing as protecting a bad person. She was being racist towards them, and I called out this person I was professionally linked to for doing that. That is it. And yes, I found out that they were treating black creators differently on this trip. And regardless, that's not okay. Searching to find a way back is not okay. It should have happened from the beginning, especially because flights were getting booked 3 fucking days before. 3 days. Flights and hotels booked
guys.
3 days before.
I will say this.
Shut up, Dean.
Like I've been
Dick.
on like a couple things like related to like boots on the ground in politics, and like I'd say that's like the industry norm. I think it's probably a bad industry norm that needs to be changed.
I mean, yeah.
Insofar as like booking flights, booking return flights. But that did apply to like everybody on the trip. Like for instance, like I don't think that my return flight was booked until like 2 days prior, 3 days prior. Yeah, that's more so.
But I know personally of a person, like the person who was giving me a bunch of this stuff, booked on Sunday, the Sunday before that Wednesday that you guys were at A&M, booked on Sunday, and then told that
Ooh, hold on. Okay, I don't even know what these are. What do I have here? Okay. 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 And what's this one? VV21RC.
I do the work, and you give the money.
Okay. I don't know why we have that one here, but okay. Don DeMarco. Why can't I play multiple times? Wait, what if I make like 3 of them? Alright, I'll fuck with that later. Okay. These are my 2 big ones. Alright, let's go. Sorry.
flight was canceled, I guess, or XYZ or whatever, and then the flight actually wasn't canceled, but it doesn't matter. They was booked on Sunday. So they were still booking flights and things for people who were involved with the tour on that day. Booking. I have the messages showing, hey, are you guys still gonna book my flight today? Yeah, okay, cool, because I gotta get to next. Like,
I feel like the call for there is like probably like better management from like this pack and all packs. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen that. I see that a lot. I see.
But that's the whole point. I feel like it's a little weird when you see that a lot, but it didn't happen for me. I was added late in the game. You know,
you didn't get a flight, Peyton. You had a car.
Yeah, they were booking me a flight, and then I asked them to get me a rental car, and then I asked them 2 days later to book it for 14 days instead of 3.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
What's that?
So?
Did you hear?
Yeah.
14 days instead of 3. Hey, listen. In summation, I think that like there's often times where flights will get booked late. I think that once again I got my return flight booked 2 days.
But these black creators didn't get their flights booked at all.
The thing is,
black creators.
Who's saying? I can sit here and say that the black creators are actually in the background talking about certain situations and how to make it better for the next thing. We didn't have to have a white creator step up here and try to talk for the black creators. I had no problem with the situation because I knew it was going to get fixed with the people I was talking with. Damn. So again, I just find it weird that I have a white man sitting here explaining to me that I need to be treated better, as if I didn't know that, as if I could.
Whoop. Shit, hold on. One more. No. Wait, this one didn't load. Hold on.
Couldn't handle it myself.
I never said you couldn't.
Okay, but you didn't.
I never said I was even speaking about
you. But you didn't know that though. You, instead of coming to talk to people about it, you did it on your own. You're Batman. You're Batman for the black community.
Black man. I mean, Batman.
The only thing I did in that video was present facts, and you guys are pissed about it for some reason. Again, I'm sorry that this did affect the tour. I'm sorry that I didn't come to you. I'm sorry I did not come to you. The black creators on this tour.
Fuck talking, coming to me.
I said the black creators on this tour is when I man Ohati.
No. Name me 5 creators that was on this trip. Name me 5 of them. Name at least 3, except for
Conscious Lee, Americana Hannah, that fucking Dan
He's not even a part of the tour.
Simple Mac, part of the tour. Fucking going, Erica, like what?
Part of the tour.
We'll get it.
Say again?
He's not part of the tour. You don't know nothing about Santana's talking about how much he's struggling through this shit. A Mermaid, Erica, me, Chris. All these
It's not my fault she was...
Imagine if we just started rattling off. He was like, Tyrone, Jerome, Mahome.
Racist dog. Like that.
Can I say something?
Racist dog. Like all these... It's not my fault she was racist dog. Like that.
Can I say something? Hey, real
Black woman speaking.
Quick, can I say something? So Peyton, I think that you're not understanding the point that is our problem, right? So you're saying that there were black creators that didn't get their flights until the 3 days before. There were black creators that you feel like weren't treated correctly. What does that have to do with you?
It's a
and also, why do you keep coming up? No. Your second video, you started out the video.
Also about Z
please
and my
stop
treatment on the
talking
tour.
over me. Hey, please stop talking over me. Your second video was a video when you were going on there, you were talking about how black creators weren't being treated the same way. You were talking about how black creators didn't get flights and had to pay for everything, but you did not have a conversation with any of those black creators to give that actual information. You're just going off of whatever it is that you felt like, and then you wanted to come online when you, at this point, were not even a part of the tour anymore because you left. I wish you would stop saying that you got kicked out. In your first video,
leave. I got kicked off.
In your first video, you said yourself that
I'm going to Texas A&M and invite all of your black friends.
You said yourself that you did not want to be a part of this tour anymore, Peyton.
If she was a part of the tour, yes.
Okay, so then did you get kicked off or did you leave?
Yes, they called me. It's in my video. They called me.
So you made the video first and then they told you that you were getting kicked off because you made a video where you said
so you just said I was
that you did not want to go, right? Okay.
You just said I got kicked off.
Peyton, stop interrupting me, bro. Stop interrupting me.
Please. It's very annoying. Like, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, nobody needs you. I especially, and I'm pretty sure the other black people on this tour, we did not need you to speak up for us because I am loud enough on my fucking own. I don't need you to say, oh, the Black creators didn't get what they were supposed to. Oh, the Black creators weren't treated that way, because you did not talk to the Black creators. You talked to the few that you wanted to, and then you went and made your own narrative about it, and you were so happy that your video made 1 million views. Nobody over here on this side actually cares about views. We care about the mission that we had. You came up here and spoke about your 1 million views to Dean. That's not the problem. The problem is, hey, shut up, stop speaking over me. The problem is, stop trying to speak for Black creators when you do not know what is actually going on with the Black creators. That's it, and that's simple. What Ohazi said as you being a white savior is exactly what it is. Nobody over here, I don't ever need a savior because I'm going to always be the problem. Okay? In this society, I don't ever need a savior because I will always be the problem. Okay? So I need for you, that's all I need for you to do is to stop speaking for Black creators if you did not at least have the decency to have a conversation with us. That's just it.
Damn.
Can I speak now?
Yes.
Fantastic. I was approached to make those videos by Black creators who did not feel their voices were.
Oh my God. It's so many Blacks on both sides. Oh, the chessboard is set. And it's all Black pieces everywhere. Holy shit. Who's going to have more?
Getting heard.
Well, then who? Because I haven't heard that from any of them.
The creators on those lives. And again, I will tell you who. After I make
you're talking about the people on the lives, and I understand they are allowed to express their opinions. I am talking about the people who you went on your second video and said weren't getting treated the right way that were on the tour. Stay on topic.
Ooh.
I guess I'm confused. Like, what? I guess what? Wait, what?
Make fun of him saying he's confused.
Dean, I think I've said enough.
Actually, once I did not catch what I did wrong. I'm sorry. Just please.
Okay, then you may never get it.
So, like, Pate, in a nutshell, like, I believe what Mermaid is essentially saying is you went on to, like, make a second video, like, predicated on the experience of the Black creators on the trip, right? And you did so.
I actually think that's wrong.
Pay, will you just allow me to finish?
No, because that's wrong. I made the video, right? And I know me, right? That's what you said earlier,
You made a video about the
Black
experience of Black creators on a trip, insofar as some not being, covered for their travel, or like a plane being booked late. That was the premise of the video. But I would like to clarify, right? Essentially, all that she's saying, right, is that you made a video, right, about the experiences of Black creators on the trip, without asking
the Black creators on the
trip for their experiences.
Oh my God.
Do you get it now?
Oh, can I talk now? Sorry, I didn't know you muted me. Yes, it wasn't the point of the video. That's a 2-minute snippet of that 15.
I love all the super serious drama with all like the little emojis flying around their heads. Like
that's a 2. Yes, it wasn't the.
Why does he have the cowboy hat?
The point of the video. That's a 2-minute snippet of that 15-minute video where I'm talking about the behavior of the people on the tour and how they treated me. And yes, I did add in the section, because while I was making the video, I was reached out to. I did add in the section about the creators who were not properly paid for this trip, as I was. But the video was about my treatment from the people within the organization, not just Z, Brandon, and other creators who were lying blatantly to try to cover Z's ass.
So is your argument essentially that you didn't talk about the Black creators' experiences without asking them?
No, I said it was added in.
It doesn't really matter.
I said it was.
Because listen, man. The point of the space that I'm hosting right now is like just simply for transparent discussion. Okay, that's why I brought you up here, and that's why I had a conversation with you, and now that's why Mermaid is up here right now as well, because I want to make sure that Mermaid has the ability to say what she wants to say. But I don't really think that you're responding to what Mermaid is saying.
I just did. I was reached out to while I was editing that video. While we were making that video, I was reached out to, and I had to add that section because I was reached out to about it, anonymously. Anonymously means I cannot give up their names. Guys, I'm very sorry. That's just how it fucking works, okay? But there are people who feel antagonized against on this tour by Z, which again, I have screenshots. I can prove it if you want.
But like, I guess like, do you like the bare minimum like understand the perspective of?
Oh, I absolutely understand the perspective. I think it's an obtuse perspective. You think it's obtuse for Mermaid to just simply request that before you tokenize her in a video, you talk to her first? I didn't tokenize her. I wasn't speaking about her. Again, I'm not gonna lie,
Who was
man.
you speaking about? So there was about 10 Black creators that were on the tour. Me, Erica, Becca were the 3 Black women, and there was about seven Black men that were on the tour. Who were you speaking about? Because I've had a conversation with all of them. We've all talked, and we haven't talked with you because you have not been on the tour since you made your video stating that you wanted to leave.
Again, I think you have to rewatch the video because I didn't. Like, I was still on the tour until I got called and kicked off for calling someone racist.
Did you not, in your video, did you not say that, yeah, you were going to Texas, but you're not going to be a part of the tour, you're not going to be a part of anything that has to do with the tour, and if people want to come out and see
until
you,
they got this racist out because I thought it would take 2 fucking seconds for Dean Withers to be like,
don't you think that after that, after you already making a video as to what you were saying that you do not want to be a part of the tour, then you would be a part of the tour?
I assumed she would be kicked off, yeah. So I apologize for that, yes. But you can tell by the phone call, Brandon called me to kick me off the tour. Why? I don't see why this is like such a bit like. What was he gonna say? You guys did not.
Listen, I just
we're
not
cutting people off, right?
I know. I just want to add on a comment here real quick.
You know what? Go ahead, for sure.
I just got a little upset there because you said that Mermaid was being obtuse, and I demonstrated my upsetness. I just want to apologize real quick.
Sorry.
Okay, man.
Oh no, the
Why are you laughing?
Because that's just like an insane like.
That's insane.
Anyway.
That's the only insane thing for all of this. Queen,
I don't like nervous laughter.
It's not nervous, but I appreciate you.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So can you apologize for speaking for the Black people on the tour without speaking to the Black people on the tour?
I spoke to Black people on the tour, but if you felt like I was mentioning you, because obviously I didn't mention any names, I am sorry. I would never want to make it seem like I was speaking for Black people who could not speak for themselves.
I mean, I'd like to like add in here, I guess, real quick. As it relates to like this topic specifically, I'm unaware, right, of any Black creator that was brought along in the tour that had to pay their own way.
That's phenomenal, Dean. You wouldn't be. You're not the organizer, right? That's why you reached out to me.
So that's why I reached out to you. I mean, you didn't tell me, so then I reached out.
There's probably a reason why they're not telling you, bud.
Bud? Oh!
I don't think that you understand what's actually been happening with him. So that's why we kind of don't understand why you have so much of a say-so, because you don't really know.
Listen, at the end of the day, here's the facts. I just want to make sure that nobody's out money, man. That's all, Ben. That's all.
Okay.
And I feel like you've been fighting me pretty hard in making that discovery. You know,
I actually told you that I would DM you privately so that you could reimburse them, didn't I? Earlier in the live.
Yeah. Did we say that, literally?
Is it possible that you may do that when you leave? Because that'd be great.
I thought that's what we already talked about.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate it if you do that, Peyton. Mermaid, is there anything else that you'd like to go over?
No, Dean, thank you so much for letting me come up and use my voice. Thank you to everybody who gifted me, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Sunday. That was it for me. Thank you.
I appreciate you for joining, Mermaid. And Peyton, that was definitely a conversation. Oh, but
they're boys
I'm
still.
now going to remove you from the live.
That's okay, but they're still boys.
Maybe, like, one last thing before I do remove you from the live is...
Call them a slur. Oh my god, that would be epic.
Want,
just kidding.
That very important conversation that was just held in this space to like detract from the fact that
you're beautiful.
I seriously do think I engaged in actions that were wrong, and I wish I would have done better for the reasons that I've already listed. and I promise to do better in the future for the viewership.
Aww.
Specifically,
King.
as it would relate to my apologies to specifically members of the BIPOC community. Now,
sorry,
everybody.
All right, now we know. Now we're all caught up. Okay, back to the video. What was Dean's announcement?
And murder. All right, welcome in everybody. All right, phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like we have kind of gone over, you know, where we are going to be going from here, insofar as departing from Z, the main organizer of the tour, which either means she steps down as the organizer of the pack backing the tour, and we find a new, better organizer, or we just simply digress from, you know, that specific pack. And yeah, we plan to hopefully be able to get other individuals up here from the tour as well, but we're just kind of starting off with a conversation with Parker, Santana, Erica, Pickles, and Mermaid. So I mean, if you guys want to hop in here and kind of lead the conversation, I did see a text from you, Santana, but feel free to take it away.
All right, so I want to start, right? I know that we have people on the panel that will speak to multiple things, and I have something specific that
Can you explain what the organizer did? So the organizer came in and microaggressed like crazy, okay? And by microaggress, I mean she came in and I think the organizer was upset that it sounded like the language on the live stream that was being hosted was kind of harsh towards the people doing the organizing work, and she felt like that language was too harsh, and her expressing that got her shit. She's out of here now. And now we have brave white men like Dean standing up to bully this organizer out. She's also the owner or leader of the pack and the main organizer, or was.
Wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine,
No,
sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
When
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't
Take a look
there,
at the
but
photograph.
they're there now, right?
No,
but they're there
in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
he's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look
Why
at that,
don't you
sir.
just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
He had him on his knuckles.
I want to speak this.
I like this. This is our politics in the United States. Bro, kill me from one to the next. Oh my god.
Me too. But I want to clarify something that Dean said. Dean mentioned that all of the creators that went on the tour was involved with the conversation. That's not accurate. There are specific people that were not included, but the actual people that were included in this helped come to the conclusion. And I'm not going to say why specific people were not at it, but I just want to leave it at that. It was not every single creator that went on the tour. With that being said, I specifically want to speak to something. The thing that I want to speak to is two quick things. There's a lot of people who are asking the question, why haven't we addressed this before then? And so Dean specifically has spoken to his reasons why he didn't actually come out and say anything, or what the actual delay was. I want to take a moment to just say that we were lied to. Period. We were lied to. We were specifically told by someone that we trusted to actually be truthful, and someone told us that the way to go about this was to hold comments because things were being worked on the back end. And that's not true. Someone specifically...
Can you at least explain to the viewers that the MS-13 was obviously added afterwards? Yeah, I mean, it was photoshopped on to the top. I don't know if Trump is just retarded, but I mean, what do you want me to say? It was just. I mean, do I need to say that this is Photoshop? This is not real. it's obviously this is Photoshop. It's fucking retarded.
He was manipulating the situation and actually trying to control the flow of information that was coming out, whether it be us speaking out individually or collectively, or any other messages being shared. So as a collective unit, we were going through conversations. We were going through back and forth as far as what do we want to say, how do we want to do, what do we want to address, and let me be very clear and very strong in what I say at this very moment.
How do I?
Yeah, it's all good.
I appreciate that.
I want to be very clear and very straightforward at this moment. And I said this to Z herself. What she said on that panel was racist. It was racist.
What?
It was racist microaggressions. She was racist.
How?
She should not have said those things to anyone, but specifically those black women on the panel. Now, with that being said, I want to speak on the point of like racism, right? And even more so, people who call themselves advocates.
Oh, advocates.
There are certain people who.
This is something I've stressed a million fucking times over, and I will continue to stress it. I am not an ally. Don't describe me as an ally ever, an advocate, any of that bullshit. I just talk about things that I think are correct. I never want to be an ally. If I ever find out that I'm identified as an ally, okay, I will get the whitest, cleanest Ku Klux Klansman cloaks you've ever fucking seen in your life, okay? And I'll just march around, all right, until I'm never described that way again. Don't ever. Okay, although I think I'm pretty far right now from being called that, so. My God, that's so fucking cringe. Hello? Why are we out of missiles?
Are saying that they are sticking up for the black community, sticking up for the marginalized community, sticking up for the black people that went on this tour who didn't have representation or were given less than or anything like that. There's certain people that have made videos talking about black people should have had this, or black creators should have got that, or black creators whatever. Specifically, people who have voiced their opinions and said that they're being advocates for black people while never speaking to the black people that they were advocating for.
Wow.
So as far as certain people who have continued to actually talk and say the black people that are on this tour, they're not getting this. The black people that are on this tour, they're not getting that, or they should have this, or this should happen. I want you all to know.
I hate you.
That those people did not come and speak to the black people involved in this tour.
To be more specific about what Santana's saying, there's been other creators that have claimed things like some of the black creators who came along on the trip were not paid for in the sense of planes, of hotels, etc. Meanwhile, the white creators were. And essentially, what you're saying is that that's not true, right?
That is.
I always thought they were claiming that the four symbols on Garcia's hands meant MS-13. Yes, people will claim that, but Donald Trump is so fucking retarded. He's seen the Photoshop and he thinks the Photoshop picture is real. That's the problem.
Not true. It's not. It's not. And for anyone to, so I don't want to go into like the full detail of like timelines or what happened or when or whatever. I will say that there's more to all of the story. I don't want to hog all the time, but there's more to all of the actual story, the situation, how this actual timeline progressed. Something that I've shared with everyone on this panel, and I've even told Z. So I do a podcast with Jessica Simone. The podcast will be out tomorrow, and I will specifically be speaking on that podcast not only to the timeline of how everything came about, but also the back end stuff that people don't know about. And that's something that a lot of people don't have is the understanding as far as everything that happened to get us to this point. But the thing that I want to focus on, and I'm going to leave it as far as my final point, two things. One, all of the creators wanted Z to come out and apologize and make a statement for being racist. Yes, every single one. There has not been an instance where anyone has said that we did not want her to apologize. We all wanted accountability.
Get me the fuck out.
We all wanted accountability. Two, for anyone who's saying that they're advocating for the black community, who's advocating for marginalized people and marginalized voices, anyone that's been loud and proud and saying that I'm doing this for these black people that are going on the tour, they are lying to you. They are lying to you because they did not talk to us. They have not been in communication with us. They have not engaged in good faith. And they are doing it for themselves. They are being performative. If they really cared about the black creators that were on this tour, one, they would have reached out to us, but two, they would not continue to do and say harmful things that would put us in jeopardy.
Jeopardy?
That's all that I have to say.
By what exactly? What is the threat we're facing here, by the way? But
no, I know.
I guess I just add on there, like, to be more specific, like, he, like, did specifically say black women. So, I mean, Erica and Mermaid, I would love to give the mic to you guys to be able to speak your mind, and kind of share a little bit about how you feel.
Speak your mind, queen.
I know you sound really low.
You don't have an echo. However, I don't think that your, like, mic is properly plugged in.
Let's move over to the mic. Is that better?
Try to, like...
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Don't tell her how to speak.
Okay, guys.
Let her speak her truth.
I just want to reiterate what Santana said is that from the beginning, I always requested that a statement be made. I do understand diplomacy and basically putting on a united front. So if I'm told that we're not going to speak about it, then we're not going to speak about it. So that's basically what it was. But I still think, even to this very second, that a statement should be put out apologizing to those women because what she said was wrong, intentional or unintentional, it was wrong, and she needs to address it and take accountability. So that's my whole thought on that matter. Also,
okay.
It was a homophobic ad, and it should have been pulled. I think.
Wait, what was homophobic? Wait, link me the homophobia.
I missed it.
What's the
homophobia? I think it was pulled. I'm not sure, but my community didn't like it. I expressed that to Z, and she said that she would look into it, and then I didn't hear anything else about it. It didn't feel good, and I expressed this a lot, that we just need to have a statement. Something needs to be said, and with people in the background acting in bad faith, pretending to act in everyone's best interest, it didn't do us anything. So I just want to say that I am sorry to my community. I truly am sorry to everyone. I want this to continue, but
Bro, we're fucked. Oh no, dude. Holy shit.
Agree with my peers here that I do not want Z to be at the forefront of it. So that's it. That's all I have to say, because I'm not gonna cry.
And I just have two things I want to add on here. So first and foremost, like, this apology isn't for you if you're white. I want to point that out. Like, I just see a lot of people
Okay.
in the chat. Like, this apology is for specifically like black individuals.
This is for black people. This is for black women. I'm sorry, love. I am sorry to black women. You look at my page. I support black women. All right, that's what I support black women first and foremost. All right, that's what I do. And to be put in this situation, no, it's just wrong. And trying to be diplomatic, it's a strength in the business. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'll be quiet for the rest of the time.
And then also just one other thing is, like, I also see a lot of other people like really like validating the grievances and hurt of members on this panel.
That's gross, guys.
Please don't do that, because like the grievances and hurt are legitimate.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I mean, genuinely, Erica hit it right on the head. This is for black women specifically, because there were black women that were disrespected. And for anyone who is actively engaging in bad faith and down in the comments saying, you know, this is performative or whatever, sorry, this isn't for you. This is specifically to the black women that were hurt and affected by everything that happened.
True.
That's the point. And our communities. Yes, we are sorry to our communities for having to actually deal with any and all of this.
Yeah, and just by the way, I wanted to repeat the overall like thesis, because there's definitely a lot of new people that have come in here. That like the Unfuck America Tour, the movement, is going nowhere. We're just kind of you know, re-navigating how it's organized. So basically, like, the request is, and as of today, and this was agreed upon by all 30 creators that went on the trip, we were able to successfully organize a large call, and we spoke for about 3 hours.
This whole movement got shut down. This whole tour.
Almost everybody. Almost everybody.
Because a lady came in and argued. Holy shit! It's all fucked now. Rip.
That, you know, if we're going to continue this movement backed by that means that Z steps down, that Z will leave the pack, or we just need to navigate away. That's all. Yeah, does anybody else feel like
That's what I was
else have shit to say, motherfuckers?
Yeah, so there's definitely been a lot going on, but today's call was definitely needed to be able to figure out where to go from here.
Thank you. Yes, queen.
First off, I want to say I can speak for myself, so I don't need anyone speaking for me. When we saw what was like happening on that live, I only got bits and pieces because I kept going into the group chat that we all have and telling Z that she needs to get down. Me and Erica both. And one thing that I'm going to say is the reason why America is in the position that they are in is because people don't listen to black women. And we said it over and over again and told her she was wrong. And with having 30 different people all having an opinion, it got to be so much. But then also we had a mission to go.
Bro, do you know what would honestly be the funniest? Okay, forget like What is a Woman or all this cringe shit that conservatives do. You know what would actually be a funny troll conservative movie? Is imagine the goal is to destroy any type of like leftist organizing, and the way that you do it is you get 4 conservative black women to go undercover in any of these groups and to just make any suggestion. And like as a social experiment, see like how far could you get if you had 4 black women that were championing a certain cause.
to this school where we all knew that we had supporters that were coming out, that wanted to see us, that wanted to have a safe space that they did have during that time. So it was so hard to navigate if we let people down. Or
how has Sanders been able to avoid this? Bernie Sanders has absolutely not been able to avoid it. What are you talking about? His whole, first of all, didn't his staff almost revolt because they wanted like a 15 an hour wage? All the people that spun off his campaign were just like this or worse. What do you think Brianna Joy Gray fucking came from was Bernie Sanders' campaign? Also, Bernie literally had his own white man soy moment.
We thank you for honoring us with your presence.
This is as far as Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders got into his Social Security speech at Westlake Park.
Thank you, Seattle, for being one of the most progressive cities in the United States of America.
Moments later, Black Lives Matter activists rushed the stage.
We are trying. We're gonna let you on the mic.
Activists who last year shut down a holiday tree lighting in the same park today prevented the most progressive candidate for president from speaking to thousands of people who came to hear him.
I came here to join this rally, watch what was going on, not to listen to somebody take over the stage.
Oh, wait, what did he say? Wait, whoa. Whoa, I saw that. Not to listen to it was coming. It was a B, not an N. It was a B, but it was coming. He stopped himself though.
Join this rally, watch what was going on, not to listen to somebody take over the stage.
As the crowd called for activists to step aside, Sanders waited patiently.
We are shutting. We will shut it down.
After about 20 minutes, Sanders
like this. I feel like you could destroy so many lefty movements by just getting like 4 black women to just go in and like do shit like this all the time. Like come in and be like, did you know that today was the day that Rosa Parks died, and you dare have this thing? Like every white dude, I don't fucking know when Rosa Parks died. Maybe it is. Damn. And they just shut up and leave. You could destroy every lefty movement like this.
Wife Jane appeared to give the signal it was time to go. Soon after, they left the stage.
It was just disrespectful.
Well, I think it's unfortunate because among other things, I wanted to talk about the issue of black lives. The fact that the American people are tired of seeing unarmed African Americans shot and killed. But there are other issues as well that we have to talk about.
If we help people out, and in that situation, everything was already paid for, everything was already set up, all of this happened at one time, so it was so hard to figure it out, but we did decide to go. And even then, there was still me and Erica and multiple other people that are up here that were saying that Z needs to make a public statement, and it didn't happen because there were other factors that were coming in within all of this. Regardless, what happened should not have happened. If we are all fighting a fight and an important fight, things need to be addressed head on so that we don't have these big problems and things start to implode. And so for that, I can apologize. And I know that everybody up here feels the same way after having.
Why do Dems have to be this cucked in America when it comes to talking about anything related to black people? John Oliver is another example of this. He never says anything remotely critical about black people. Because the problem is that white people don't know what it means to not be racist. A lot of people have no concept of what it means to be discriminatory or racist or bigoted. And if you don't really know, well, fuck, what are you going to do? I don't know, listen to black people, right? No offense, I don't need a fucking black person to tell me what it means to be racist or not. Now, they can inform your experience, right? They can tell you things or give you a perspective that you wouldn't have been able to consider otherwise. But if you need to get your understanding of racism or bigotry or your definitions from these people, and you're probably already lost. But if you are in that world where you're literally getting definitions of them, well, if they're telling you that you're being racist or bigoted, then you have no choice but to sit down and shut the fuck up. You kind of just have to sit there and take it, you know? Like, well, fuck, if he says I am, then I guess maybe I am. And then you just sit there and kind of deal with it that way.
The very long conversation that we had. So for the people that we did let down, I do feel as though, like, I'm sorry. Because we're just trying. I know I can speak for myself and say that I'm just trying to help out, even though I'm not some big old person. And last thing, like I said before, and I really just want to reiterate this, when it comes down to, because I know it's been said that I paid for everything to go there, that's a lie. I know there's been a bunch of different lies, like I didn't feel safe, that's a lie. You don't have to speak for me. And regardless, even if it wasn't paid for, I still would have went because I agree with the movement, with the reason why we are going to these schools. And by the end of that night, I saw that is why I went. So even if I had to pay out of pocket, I still would have done it because I love a country that does not love me. And I'm going to continue to fight for this country that does not love me because I love this country and the people in it. So I would pay my own money if I had to. I land my plane with that.
Can I just add on, Mermaid, did anyone reach out to you about you having to
Not
pay
a single
your
person.
own.
Not one person has asked me anything. People have just said what they feel about it, and it really is aggravating because I will speak out. I will speak up. I will answer questions. I answer majority of my DMs. I'm not some big streamer or big person. I will talk to you, but no one spoke to me, but everyone spoke about me, and that's a problem to me.
Yeah, so people that are making videos or making comments or making posts saying that black people came in late and they're having to pay or whatever, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry.
So there's not much more that I'm going to say that Santana, Erica, and Mermaid didn't cover just now. Basically, I did want to speak for myself and also Hannah, because she said she was probably not going to be able to go on the panel. Basically, like Santana said, some of us were misled into believing that there was a consensus not to speak about this. And so that's why on Friday on my live, I didn't speak about it. That's why I can't remember what Hannah's live was, maybe Thursday. But that's why she didn't speak about it. And I just want that out there because I didn't know that this consensus didn't exist until this morning.
Wow. Listen, I feel like for like me as a white man, right? Here's my perspective.
Thank you for clarifying. As a white man,
I don't really think like a consensus matters. I feel like
we don't need a consensus. We just need some of the black people to tell us what to think. Please, God, just tell us black people what to think. Please absolve me of my racism, please.
It was wrong of me to not speak about this prior to the tour, specifically about the organizers. Once again, for all the people in the comment section saying what's going on, I'll reiterate. The organizer of the tour went on a TikTok live like 2 or 3 days before we were boots on the ground in Texas and was being microaggressive to the black women on the panel. And then, yeah, specifically before like.
Do people like Dean actually believe in this soy way of talking, or are they just doing it for clout and pussy? No, I don't think he's doing it for clout and pussy. There's this concept, honest to God, I think it's bullshit now, but there's this concept called people first language, and I think it started off with good intentions, but I feel like, I don't know if it actually works or if it fucking matters. What happened is you get people that will call people like, oh, blacks, or gays, or homos, right? You get people that say words like this, and it becomes kind of, it becomes like a signifier or a vernacular of somebody where it's like, oh, that guy might be like racist or homophobic, right? A guy saying, blacks. Guy sounds like he could be racist. And then I think what happened is people went and like retroactively tried to analyze this language and they're like, okay, why is blacks bad? Well, because blacks is not people first. It reduces them to some singular concept. So how about a black person? A black person, that's like they call it people first language. A person with disabilities, or I don't even know if they say disabilities anymore, right? A person with special abilities, who knows? That sounds way cooler than it actually is. So they have like all of these like advanced vernacular ways to tackle literally every single, way that you speak. But I think the issue is that it just doesn't matter that much. It doesn't work. Like I think you can use people first language and still be like not like you can still signal you're kind of racist. Like, oh, he's a colored person. A what? Colored person. You could say like a person of color, I guess. But like a gay person doesn't feel, you wouldn't say like he's a person of homosexuality. I don't know. I just think it's all bullshit. But they have these like super intricate ways of speaking, and now it's just kind of become the signifier or the like these little cultural handshakes to let them know that they're not racist or they're not bigoted. But it all feels like incredibly performative and stupid to me. I don't know, but that's just my take on it.
Like, once again, I'll just repeat this for all the new people coming in here. The reason why I still went on the tour, even after that occurred, was because individuals had already bought plane tickets to go to Texas from Oklahoma, from Chicago, from Florida. And at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm just still going to do it. But in retrospect, what I should have done, and I didn't do this, what I should have done is I should have used my position as a larger influencer to basically say, no, either she holds herself accountable, you boot her out, or I don't go. And I didn't do that. And that's wrong, right? And that's what I said at the beginning of the stream, and that's what I'll say again. But, insofar as like what the actionable steps were, once we got back from Texas, well, there was a couple things that we had to consider. One of the big, like this is a big thing, and I want to make sure that we raised $100,000 from the event. And a big part of navigation when we got back.
That's a decent chunk of change for events like this. Like, it's crazy that they're kicking out the lead organizer. Holy shit.
I want to make sure that all of the creators are on the same page, right? So we could almost unionize and say, you guys have to either get a new organizer, or the current organizer has to show real actionable steps towards accountability. And then days passed, there was no real actionable steps towards accountability.
Concrete on the
so
ice
that's why we're all here today,
Oh,
because
shit.
we've agreed that essentially this will not continue with PAC as it stands with the Organizer Z. Either the Organizer Z will step down, or we will, digress from the PAC and find other means to continue the movement. And that's basically, what we're all here to talk about.
Yeah, and again, I just
Oh, you're good. I just wanted to finish what I was going to say, so you go ahead and I'll finish.
I'm sorry, actually, real quick. I'm half memeing when I'm laughing about the fact that they're cutting out the organizer. I don't really know much about these people or much about like everything that's going on, so maybe it's not as big of a deal as I'm assuming it is in my mind. Like, if the organizer did as much work as it seems like she did, and she's being cut out from this because of this small thing, this is bullying. It is extreme bullying. And just because you're black doesn't mean that you can't be like a, you know, an actual piece of shit, like bully motherfucker who just happens to have found, you know, some new advanced way to unlock extra forms of bullying. Like, unless I'm missing something that happened, and I don't think I am, because I think somebody brought it up, like, this is easily a situation that could have been discussed. Cooler heads could have prevailed, you know, maybe get somebody older than the age of 19 to have this conversation. It's like, hey, some people got triggered or ticked off or whatever, like, let's just chat it out and be cool. And you're done with it, you move on from it. I don't feel like I heard anything here, kill me, that would require, like, a total cutoff of this person from everything that they were involved in terms of organizing, which is really cringe, but whatever. Are there really no resources out here? Wait, so I can't actually... I brought all this bullshit to build a space platform to mine materials. Am I not able to mine any materials out here in space? Is it all just ice?
Absolutely. I just wanted to again say, like, everyone, like, please, right, listen to the people that call, listen to people who are, listen to everyone on this panel right now. It's really important to do that. Also, like, hold us accountable. It's really important to hold people like Dean and I accountable. And there were a lot of people in the Discord, right, engaging in racist microaggressions towards black women, like, within the context of our Discords. And we just want to say that we do not support that. We think that is horrible. And we want people within the Discords also to be able to hold themselves and us accountable.
Use the recipe to convert ice and other asteroids. Oh, fuck.
Resolve the issue. I mean, even when I DM'd him, I was like, please keep this private. I don't want this to be shared publicly. I just want you personally to maybe share this information with me so I could try to help resolve it, you know, behind the scenes and take care of that, just because I definitely think that would be really wrong and bad. And then he DMs me back, and he basically says, nope, I'm not going to tell you. You don't get to know. And yeah. Yeah. So that was what I considered.
And that's my point about when people say that they're actually advocating for certain people when they don't actually do the work, but yet they want to get the attention. That's what we're talking about.
Not good.
So they had the opportunity to reach out to the black creators. They had the opportunity to answer Dean's question. They had the opportunity to actually put action behind their words, and they didn't do that. And one other quick thing that I want to touch on before I pass it over to Pickle is to Dan's point. I want to be very, very clear, because Dan said the reason why he didn't speak on certain things is because he was told specifically that he shouldn't. And the message that a lot of creators were given was follow the direction of the black creators, right? They were told follow the direction of the black creators, and someone specifically weaponized that message and told everyone else that the message should not be communicated, that there should be no apology pushed out, that people should put it on ice and not talk about it, and we should not address those things, while at the same time telling the black creators, I have your best interest at heart, and I'm going to take care of this. Trust me, believe me, I got it. So what actually happened was certain white creators or non-black creators were being told, hey, I'm working with the black creators, and this is what they want you to do, while at the same time telling the black creators, we just need to all chill out, and I'm going to take care of it. So when Dan says individually he was told not to actually air things out or talk about this, that's true. But that's because someone was lying to all of us and actually going around and trying to manipulate the situation.
Damn.
Pickles.
Yeah, I think everything's been pretty well explained so far. I also do want to pound on the fact that we are not doing this in reaction to other creators making videos or making lives about this. We're doing this on our own volition. We've had a 4-hour meeting today about this. All of us did volition. We do care about this a lot, and it wasn't only just one thing or two things. It was an amalgamation of things, and our genuine concern over whether or not this pack was taking good care of us or doing this event in the best way that they could, and we had our own criticisms of it. But yes, as far as I know, I'm the only creator I know of that paid out of pocket for anything with anyone. But I paid over $1,000 for something. That was very ecstatic to come.
Damn.
And I think it was an overall success for even someone like me who paid all the way out of pocket to come.
No.
That's all I have.
No.
I just wanted to add on there because like the timing is incredibly suspicious because we started this live, just like a little bit after another creator on the platform started their own live. Yeah, I mean every single person on this panel, as well as like every other creator on the trip, could definitely attest to the fact that we've been in a Google Meet talking about what had happened, what the next actionable steps are for hours before like we're live here
and guess what? Then they started some bullshit.
Can I just say this real quick? And I'm sorry. So I got permission from Erica to share this. So this is the signal chat message that I sent out to everyone, but specifically this is what I sent to Erica, basically saying, hey, we need to meet. I sent it at 9:47 a.m. Pacific, saying that, hey, we need to meet at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and trying to get everybody organized and on the same page. So for anyone thinking that this is reactionary, no. We have been talking, not only have we been in communication about everything for the last couple of days, but specifically when it comes to what we're doing right now, this started at 9-something this morning, as far as deciding how we were going to go about doing this, what we wanted to talk about, how this live was going to look. So no, we're not reacting to anyone who is live or making videos or whatever.
And there's also just like a couple smaller things that I'd like to talk about, like specifically about the NDAs, because they were talking about the NDAs. So this morning, every creator on the trip got sent an NDA by the organizer, and then I went into a larger group chat with all the creators, and I told people not to sign the NDA, and then I got a phone call where I got like yelled at and all this stuff because apparently I made a very bad decision by telling people not to sign the NDA. Yeah, that did happen. That did happen, and that was so fucking that was insane. I'm still in disbelief.
And just to correct, the NDA went out last night at around 10 p.m. That was when we got the NDAs. Some people were asleep, some people were not, but I don't think anyone up here signed. I'm pretty sure the majority of us know to seek legal counsel beforehand, but that it did go out later on.
Seek legal counsel before signing an NDA.
Yeah. I mean, I still defend my position of telling people not to sign that. And I was perplexed by like the reaction that I was met with by the organizers. You know, I got called and they were like really mad at me for telling people not to sign it. But yeah, it was very questionable, especially a couple subsections of the document in of itself. And I defend that. And then also one other thing, or two other things, is I just want to reiterate the same sentiment that the conversation about like myself holding myself accountable, an apology. This is only for Black individuals. I want to reiterate that once again, as well as I do see some.
Stop! If you're white right now, you better not be taking this as an apology, you fucking retards. We're watching this for entertainment and entertainment only. This has absolutely nothing to do with apologizing to you if you're listening and you're white. Okay.
Some misogyny as well as anti-Black racism in the chat, and that is unacceptable in this space. The grievances are valid and they shouldn't be invalidated, and I think that's really important. Now, Simple Black Player, would you like to add a handful of things on?
Yeah, just a few things. So I want people to understand that there were two situations that happened simultaneously. The first situation was the criticism about the Unf America tour and the protection of Black people. Then the second situation is how Z entered a panel full of Black women and was hostile towards these Black women. What we need to understand is that the Black creators that was a part of this tour spoke with each other and tried to understand what's the next move. Our goal was to make sure that this situation will never happen again, and to make sure that we can have a stronger unified front when it comes to the next step for the Unf America tour. So to see people coming here and try to belittle a few of the individuals that was on the tour, such as Mermaid and Erica, bashing them as Black women, or even me calling me a mediocre, or even Chris calling Chris and I mediocre Black men, or even saying that we were DEI hires.
Hi.
Things that was being said to the people that claimed that they were protecting.
What are you doing?
How is that protection? How is that protecting individuals if those same individuals are being attacked by those same individuals? And that's what we have to understand. I spoke with some of these people that actually started this situation, and I asked them, "Have you spoke with the Black individuals that you're protecting?" And they said no. So I'm curious. Do you care about us more than we care about us? And that's a scary situation that I've noticed. And I'm just shaking in the situation because people are literally questioning the Black creators' Blackness at some point, as if these individuals understand what we went through more than us. And that's what I wanted to say. Like we have to understand the situation at hand, and it's bigger than this. No one's sitting here saying what Z did was right, but at the same point, we were told not to say anything. We were also told that the situation was going to get fixed. Well, a lot of us even and spoke about this, but instead of the people who had this criticism coming to talk to us about this, they decided, hey, let's go on live and let's talk about it without inviting these individuals, without letting them hear them out. And when they did hear us out, we were attacked. That's the beginning of all of this. Erica was attacked, Mermaid was attacked, Chris was attacked, I was attacked, Satana was attacked, Dan, Pickles, everyone, Dean Parker, we were all attacked simultaneously without us even defending anything. And that's the last thing I want to say about all this.
One thing that I want to kind of mention and call out, because again, I want to be very clear. There's a difference between bad faith actors and people who had genuine concerns, and there were some people who had genuine concerns, right? And the one thing that I want people to understand is that every Black person that decided to join this tour and to go to
What?
Texas A&M understood what we were doing. We absolutely understood that we were not welcome.
Oh wait.
In College Station.
There we go. Got it. I figured.
We understood that we were going there.
I got it.
And we were putting ourselves at risk.
Damn.
So for anyone to say that,
In case you guys didn't know, College Station is one of the most lethal places in the entire United States to try to do events at as a black person. It's insane. The amount of physical violence that they'll get you with.
proper things aren't being done, or the proper steps weren't being taken, or you're not caring or thinking about the black people that are going. To Theory's point, like, we care about ourselves, and we were fully aware, and we made sure that we were going to be protected. So there was some misconceptions or even lies about the access to security, or whatever the case may be, protection while we were there. We were assured that security was going to be in place, that we were going to have private areas that we had access to, and
private areas, we're gonna black only areas? Is that what that means? I'm sorry.
We did just that, whether it was private areas in our hotel, whether it was private places to eat dinner, whether it's police officers on campus,
whether it's just places to get a drink at a water fountain
with us. All of those things happened, and we knew what was happening. So having those concerns about black people, thank you, yes, but also spreading misinformation and lies about what is happening or what didn't happen, that's not beneficial. It was harmful, and it continues to be harmful.
And I just want to also say that.
True, King.
I just want to also say that those the bad faith actors that Santana had spoken about here, I think I genuinely saw through dead targets put on the backs of the black creators on this tour, and it just when everything came out and I saw I'm boiling with rage, and I want to say that on behalf of them, because genuinely they received messages because of misinformation that was coming out
by white boys.
Just want to say this: if anyone just wants the actual proof, just put that YouTube video of what happened between everybody that was part of that live and with Z. Not only are you going to see Z become microaggressive against these black women, but you're also going to see other outcomes of what's happening. Then you also get a bigger story.
Listen, here's what I want to say. I think that, like, good faith critical dialogue and criticism is not only a good thing, but it's necessary. It is so incredibly necessary. If I didn't have a conscious attitude where I'm wanting to be accepting of, like,
it's not enough to be racist, guys. You're to be anti-racist.
Real criticism from good faith actors, I would not be the man I am today. I mean, over the course of the last couple of years, I've heard constructive criticism on so many things, and I've genuinely tried to stay conscious about it. And it has helped me become a better person. And I think that does apply now, right? We spent some time talking about some, like, the bad faith actors involved, but I want to talk about the good faith actors involved. And I think that there has been, like, legitimate criticism. And we've kind of already covered a little bit of that. I know that I have, like, when I, for instance, started opening up. And just know that, like, I take it seriously. And I always have, and I always will. At least I'll always try to. I guess that's what I should. I guess that's what I should say. Now, if did anybody else on the panel want to add anything in here?
Yeah, Erica has something.
Erica?
I think my mic is, like, pretty staticky. I think you guys can hear it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is? Oh, good.
Yeah, it's not good.
I just want to... Okay. All right. Hold on one moment.
Yeah. While Erica fixed her mic, I'll make one more quick point, and that is we, as creators, hold ourselves to a very high level, very high standard, and the reason why we're doing this right now is because it was important for us, once we found out the things that were happening, to actually put it out there. Now, again, the statements that, and I'm going to be clear, the statements that Z made was racist.
Jesus.
It was.
They were.
We also all agree that she needs to apologize and take accountability.
True.
With that being said...
by accountability, we mean she needs to kill herself immediately in a video game. In real life.
We all also understood that we were told that this was being taken care of, and we were being lied to at the same time. And as soon as we found this information out over the last 24 hours, we have been sharing this information with each other. We organized, we got on a call that lasted for hours, and then we immediately shifted from that call to this live so we can share this information with you. So that's why we're here today, talking about what happened with the Unfuck America tour, what happened with the National Ground Game, what we would like to see happen, and how we would like for this to move forward. Because every single person here is committed to continuing to do the right thing, and we want to continue to do the right thing, but we cannot do the right thing with the wrong people.
How is there an hour and 40 minutes left in this? What the fuck else do they talk about? I'm sorry, I'm good.
See you tomorrow. Yay! Okay, bye everyone.
Huge shout outs to Dean and Santana worked effortlessly today to make sure that this live took place. So huge shout outs to Dean and Santana.
Good.
Sorry. See you, Dan.
No, you're good. Bye, everybody. Love you.
All right, everybody watching. Here's the deal.
We did it. We ended racism, guys. We did it. We did it.
The reason I have my platform is because of transparent conversation with people that disagree with me. I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't let Sam up. So I say, let's go and get Sam up on the live. Sam, I'd like to talk to you because at the end of the day, I do genuinely want to try. Here's the way I think.
Okay.
I do genuinely want to try to be the best possible version of myself, and that has genuinely always been something that I've tried to do, especially with the position I've been in for the last couple of years. I find it very important, and I feel like it is an imperative. It's an imperative to hold responsible for the bad things they do. The more power and societal control they possess. I recognize I possess quite a bit, so I think it's very important to have a conversation with you, Sam. My intentions is to recognize and understand where I personally went wrong, and to move forward in a better direction. So Sam, if you'd like to take the mic, please feel free.
Sure. 1, I'm outside. I'm going to try going somewhere quieter. 2, I'm angry, so if I stutter, that's why. Now, this isn't just you. But for the last week, directly after Z said the racist bullshit that she said to those people, I immediately negativity, and that he wanted to focus on the people that might lose their Medicaid and their food assistance, as if I'm not actively affected by Medicaid and food assistance. So first of all, Johnny, if you're listening to this, you betrayed the fuck out of me and...
What does she mean when she says, as if I'm not actively affected by Medicaid and food assistance? What does she mean exactly when she says that? Because that sounded like the wildest equivocation I've ever heard in my entire life. Cutting food stamps doesn't mean anything to me. Excuse me? Do you know how many fans email me who have had family members who have known people who were on food stamps, and you think it really doesn't impact me at all? Do you know what the mental health burden is of reading their cries?
And black people. And if you call yourself an advocate, me and Ray are owed an apology. Number fucking 1. Number 2.
If you called who an advocate? What?
So first of all, Johnny, if you're listening to this, you betrayed the fuck
Hello,
out of me and black
adventurers.
people.
I'm going to
And if
quickly
you call
show
yourself
you
an
how to
advocate-
smith bronze in your furnace. If this video helps you, please like it. Leave a silly comment for the algorithm and don't subscribe to me. All right, so once you've built your furnace, it didn't really give me any instructions about how to smith bronze. But what you got to do is you got to get bronze, and you got to get coal as well, charcoal, sorry, and put that in there for the fuel, and then get tin. All right, I didn't know you had to get tin in order to make bronze bars. So I'm going to quickly show you where to find tin. Now, I found tons of bronze around here. Am I being attacked again? Oh my god. I'm just going to go ahead and leave. They can have my base. I don't care. All right, so there's some bronze nodes right in front of me. Just in this location. Why can't I look at my map? That's where I am. All right, and then there's some tin right around here. I also found tin around here. There's a lot of locations to find it. It's not something you're not going to be able to find or have a hard time finding, though I did.
Me and Ray are owed an apology. Number fucking 1. Number 2. Moving forward, the day that man came up on your live to tell you about what Z did, I sent both you and Parker links to the live stream where Z said what she said. And I also posted when Johnny shut me and Ray down, and posted the live link YouTube video in my Discord with timestamps. And after that, the day before yesterday, when Dan did a 7-hour live about Alina, Jaden and me told him in the comment section that Z was racist, and Dan went out of his way to say that he didn't want to talk about that out loud, and he wanted to talk about that off camera.
Oh, how convenient for Dan. Dan. Sounds like a white name, gonna be honest. How convenient that Dan gets to deal with racism offline when these people deal with racism for their entire lives online, because that's where they live. But it's a lie, because they look for it. See it never been.
Any other thing that happened, I can't say anything about that. But what I will say is, when me and Ray have been talking about this for over a week, trying to tell you all, especially to your faces sometimes, what she did, and you treated us like we were fucking crazy, that felt awful. So you know what? I can't tell you what you knew. I'm not in your brain.
I can.
Okay. But what I'm going to say is, when we try and tell multiple people who were part of this tour what happened, and you shut us down, that was disrespectful as fuck, and also racist. That's what I wanted to say.
And racist. God damn.
Can I tell you a little bit about what I knew and where I knew it? And then also,
I like how he asks permission to speak. Thank you. Thank you, Deanie. Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming up here and sharing your thoughts. I listen. Like, at the end of the day, even if it's like not for my personal self-interested advantage, I will always think that transparent and clear conversation is a good thing. And I'll stand 10 toes down in that. I'll stand 10 toes down in that. All right. So Sam, here's what I have to say. You asked me when I knew about this. I knew about this the day after it happened, and I listened to a clip of Z on the live, giving microaggressions against black women, and that's a fact. And that was before I left on the trip to Texas, and that's also a fact. The reason why I still decided to go on the trip to Texas, and my thought processes after listening to the clip of Z being, perpetuating racist microaggressions to the black women in that space were as follows. First and foremost, I heard about multiple fans that had bought plane tickets to go into Texas, so I felt as if I owed it to them to ensure that I was there. Second of all, I, at that moment, begun attempting to pressure Z into at least acknowledging what she did was wrong, acknowledging that she needs to hold herself accountable.
Isn't this like a little gross? This is basically firing and discrediting somebody for basically nothing. Looks like you're getting an IP ban for 3 days for being racist against black women. See ya, doucheman.
So hopefully she can deconstruct, her racist microaggressions, regardless if they were intentional or unintentional. The impact was good. Okay. In retrospect, I think that was.
If I was a white person, no. If I was a black person, no. But Z's not a black person. What is she? Is she Asian? Is she? What is she? If I was a black person, a white person was telling me you need to learn how to deconstruct your microaggressions, I would kill myself in a video game.
A bad thing. I think I did something wrong. I think I fucked up. Quite frankly, I do. I think I fucked up because I feel like in order to be willing to go the extra mile, you have to be willing to break the status quo.
Yes,
and I feel like in that circumstance, I didn't break the status quo. I moved the status quo.
You did.
And what I should have done instead is I should have leveraged the fact that I have a large platform to either say that she needs to hold herself accountable or I need to leave the tour. And I didn't do that.
Shush, Mom.
I realized that, and I think that moving forward, I need to.
Shush up. Shush.
While I transparency, because this was my main contention. If you had this knowledge, why didn't you tell anyone else?
I did. So I mean, like the first thing I did when I heard about this was I went to Parker, also talked to Santana, and I feel like my immediate response was to specifically talk to the BIPOC creators that were on the trip and have discussions with members of the BIPOC community.
I love how BIPOC just fucking black people. Can somebody link me a single time? Oh, I have a bunch of BIPOC friends showing up, and it's like 90% Native American. Like, bro, show me this ever happening fucking ever. Oh my god. We're gonna talk about BIPOC issues today. So on the agenda, we were talking about the Cherokee tribe. We've got the Wet'en Wahoo or whatever from fucking Canada. We've got, like, excuse me, what?
Insofar as what is the response, right? Like, what is the response? So, but are you specifically asking why I didn't tell anybody else, like, speak about it on live?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
I think, like, the reason why I didn't speak about it on live at the time was because I was scared. And once again, that was another example of me going to the status quo. And essentially, like, the impact of my action, regardless of, like, my intent or all else. Let's give it a phone call. Regardless of all else, was wrong. You know, I think I also was very anxious, and I didn't know how to navigate the fact that now this PAC that had raised money from supporters and gotten, like, I think now $100,000 following the event, it was bad. I was very anxious, and I think how I should have acted is how I previously described, and I should have done significantly better, and I just want to recognize that.
Thank you.
Okay. Question number 2. A friend of mine brings this up. Excellent question. Ooh. Do you disavow Johnny for shutting me and Ray down when we were trying to bring up the racism to him?
Yeah. What about that? Join my team. You better say yes.
Yeah, and I hope that he addresses it.
Also, to anyone wondering what I'm talking about, go into my only public saved on my account. It's going to take you to a bunch of saved videos from an account called Soul Ties something, but there's a person who posted all of this stuff on there. You can go there, you can go on my Discord and search the word racism, it'll pop up. But anyway, okay, and I suppose my last question is, when it comes to the other creators, because I know you can't answer for them, is anyone going to, like, talk about...
It's gotta be a troll. It's like 10 chill black people on the other side. They're like, I'm gonna turn the fucking fan on, and we're just gonna make this as unbearable as possible. This fucking white dude, he won't say shit to us. I swear to God, it'll be the funniest thing in the world. That's absolutely what's going on here. It has to be, right?
Because I know you can't answer for them. Is anyone going to, like, talk about how they just ignored out of us and, like, treated us like we had no proof and had no basis for what we were saying?
So I'm unaware of like certain dynamics between you and other creators, but I think like it should be addressed. I like, even though like I'm unaware of like the specific dynamics, and this is like my first time like hearing about it, I think it should be addressed the same way I'm addressing it now. And the reason why I'm having this conversation with you, the reason why I'm trying to do my best to be honest and to hold myself accountable, is because this is what I say other people should do every single day. And I'd be a hypocrite. I'd be a fucking hypocrite if I didn't apply it to myself. And so yeah, in other words, I do think it should be addressed. I do think it should be talked about. Because if it's not addressed and if it's not talked about, then all of a sudden it'll happen again. People will think it's okay, right?
It's not okay.
And I don't think it's okay to ignore legitimate concerns and good faith critique, especially as it applies to black women in America today, as black women in America today are one of the most marginalized groups of people in this country.
Thank you, King.
Okay. Another question,
Yeah.
because I'm looking in the comments. If Johnny is here, with the utmost respect, could you please add him? Because I would love to know what he has to say about this.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and add Johnny, and that's fine by me if he does happen to be here, and he is here. I would like it to be known that, I mean, in this circumstance, Johnny's speaking for himself.
Hello. Hi. First off, before I speak, I want to hear from you.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know why I just said, oh no. There was literally no reason for me to do that. I'm sorry.
And then I kind of want to explain what I knew at the time, but first I want to hear from you, because I'm learning a lot more as I'm going along here, and I want to make sure that I'm not disrespecting in any way, and I mean that sincerely. So tell me.
I like how the language has become so pointlessly contrived. I want to make sure that I'm listening and learning and hearing you, and I'm trying to learn, and I mean that sincerely. Like, I like how the language is, we have to add all these qualifiers.
What unfolded, and then I'll try to fill in any gaps with what I knew.
Okay.
Please take the floor.
Well, first of all, frankly, as far as disrespect, it's a little bit too late for that. But anyway, do you recall...
He should have said, okay, and then dropped it. The N-word.
About a week ago, when I and Ray
Neoliberal.
came up on Mermaids Live, we introduced ourselves, we complimented Mermaid, and then I tried to tell you about what happened on that live, where, by the way, if you don't know, her full name, the racist in question, is Z. Cohen Sanchez, if anyone was wondering. That's her name. Again, Z. Cohen Sanchez. She has an account on here with like 60K. Do with that
Jesus.
information what you will.
Gee, I love the directed harassment. White bitch, I'm going after tonight. What was her name? Can I get a social security number and an address? We're gonna destroy this chick's life. What? She thinks she can organize? Are you serious? You're not even a black woman. You're not even a black woman. Cohen? Cohen? Oh. I get it. I get it now. I understand what's happening here. Not surprising at all.
That's her name. Again, Z. Cohen Sanchez. She has an account on here with like 60K. Do with that information what you will. We came up and we tried to tell you that she was racist. And as we tried to tell you that, you cut me off in the middle of my sentence, ironically with the phrase,
look at this. I've never seen a more racist person in my life. She helps down ballot bigots win big, basically. C. Cohen Sanchez started Soul Strategies to amplify marginalized voices vying for local and state seats. Throughout her years working on political campaigns across the U.S., Z. Cohen Sanchez saw firsthand the inequities that plague the electoral process. The voices leading our country and making important decisions are primarily white, older men who have very different lived experiences than the people they are making decisions for, she says. Sanchez decided that she wanted to help individuals in the political space with the potential to uplift their communities, but who are not traditionally heard from. So in 2020, she started Boulder City, Nevada-based Soul Strategies to work with candidates on organizing, staffing, and running their campaigns. And while Sanchez has had to battle misogyny nearly every step of the way, she now counts over 400 campaigns in her portfolio, many of them wins. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm like half trolling throughout all of this, but can I be super sincere? Maybe this might be bridge burning. I don't know. My bridge is already probably burned. Probably all these people anyway. Dean and Parker, these guys are actually spineless, disgusting fucking losers. That they would seriously burn a bridge like this with somebody for some crazy radical black loser fuck who's going to lose their interest in politics in 12 months when they don't get exactly what they want out of it and they graduate and they go to do something in the real world. It's absolutely insanely fucking disgusting that this woman is being cut out. Like somebody who's actually spent like part of their adult life, like the only part of your life that fucking matters, okay, when you're actually outside of your parents' womb, or at least the financial support that they provide, okay, that somebody that's actually spent part of their life, adult life, like building campaigns and shit and trying to help marginalized voices, the fact that they're going on live and saying something like, hey, it doesn't help when you guys say shit like this, that they're getting completely cut out from this now is fucking gross. I don't know what the fundraising for that looks like, but if these guys are going to cut her out and all that shit, you should just give the money back, or give them the money if you're going to use it, instead of her cringe fucking disgusting weird shit like you guys are going to waste it on. It's actually insane. Do we actually know what she said? Unless there's some missing crazy like N-word saga that we missed, it sounds like she went onto a live and basically told them, hey, like stop saying that this is disorganized or super disorganized. It makes the people that are working here feel like shit. And then we were like, we're black and we feel like shit. And I can't believe you would tell us to blah, blah, blah. It was insane. But holy shit. This is insane and unhinged and disgusting. But, you know.
I don't mean to cut you off. And you said, we're not trying to keep things negative right now.
Also, I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but black women with this hairstyle and these glasses are the equivalent to the white woman with fringe. The crazy fringe. I don't know what it is about this, like this, wait. Is it this fringe? I don't know what it is about like the long kind of curly hair and then these glasses. I don't know why, but they're always fucking insane. I don't know why. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't make the rules, okay? I'm just an observer of reality.
We're trying to focus on the people who will be affected by Medicaid and food assistance, as if we're not both Medicaid recipients and food assistance recipients, and as if that somehow trumps the fact that racism actively happened. So that was pretty fucked up, actually. What's that about?
So I want to point out that
assistance recipients and Medicaid and food assistance, as if we're not both Medicaid recipients and food assistance recipients, and as if that somehow trumps the fact that racism actively happened.
I don't know what is even the point of this.
So that was pretty fucked up, actually. What's that about?
How is it not racist to call them DEI hires? She didn't call them DEI hires. She said that because of the video that one Peyton guy had said, some people were calling them DEI hires or something like that.
So I want to point out that you know that I tend to attempt to stay out of situations regarding streamers or quote-unquote drama, which that's not what this is.
Not at all.
Right. At that time, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the situation.
These are
and so when I
marginalized
saw you
voices.
folks come up, knowing that we were in the midst of a conversation in regards to food assistance, and knowing that the situation probably was going to be about other streamers, I immediately had the response of, well, let's keep it on this. I shouldn't have done that. Because if I didn't do that, you would have told me about the racism right from the get-go, which would have, A, stopped me from bringing Mermaid further into the situation, because my goal was never to create an unsafe environment for her. I wanted her to have a really good time, which is why I really fought to get her there. So I want to make that evident, one. I should have let you speak on it. I didn't because I wanted to focus on Medicaid and food assistance. That was wrong of me. And then two, I want to say, I sincerely apologize about that, and I mean that genuinely, because as I started to kind of get an understanding of what was going on, I should have called you, and I should have said, hey, let's talk about this. In part, I decided not to, and I decided just to cut myself out of the equation altogether because I saw that you had a live stream with a couple other streamers, and I know that you folks were really unhappy with me, and I felt as though if I stepped up and showed my face, that would only inflame more division between folks during the midst of this event in Texas, and I didn't want to make the situation about myself in any way, shape, or form.
Wow.
So I kind of just cut myself out of it altogether, which again was definitely not the right way to go about it, because that created more of an issue and a lack of transparency, which is my fault.
One says, Sam, how the hell did you get a flag? Do TikTok
It's okay with me. I don't know.
Are you okay with remaining up here on this account, or do you want to switch accounts? If so,
My other account's banned too. They don't like black people, which seems to be an ongoing theme. But anyway, what's it called? Do you want me to drop it now, or?
No. I want you to stay up here for as long as you want. And I mean, even after you're done talking to Johnny. As soon as you're done talking to Johnny, as soon as you're done talking, sorry, I'm as soon as you're done talking to Johnny, I'd like to maybe have a little bit of a further conversation with you. But go ahead, guys.
Okay. Ray's texting me right now. Ray told me she sent you the live in question.
Mm-hmm. I got more information afterwards, and as I learned this information, I should have connected with you too. I decided not to. And I also spoke to Ray and I explained that you and Ray and anybody else who felt a certain way about the situation has the right to express their feelings and their thoughts and their concerns, and that it's my job to
Thanks,
listen. And I
white
spoke
man,
about that.
for the
my goal overall
permission.
is to attempt to do some good here. That's my mission. My belief is that we're put on this planet to uplift one another and others, which is why I attempt to cut myself out of these situations. But I think, again, that doesn't always serve me well, and this is a prime example of how it didn't. I should have connected with you. I should have let you speak on the matter. And I shouldn't have been so focused on, well, let's talk about these issues. Let's talk about Medicaid. Let's talk about Medicare. When this was critically important, and it would have helped me, and especially Mermaid, in the long run. Because again, if I knew this was happening at that time beforehand, and I really understood the entire extent of what was happening, I probably would have just said, Mermaid, Johnny, we're not going to do this. Let's take a step back. But I didn't do that. I was also well aware that a lot of us were going with the intent on meeting young voters. And so a lot of folks weren't connecting behind the scenes on this information, just in part because...
Can't believe you entered the TikTok spirit earlier. This is content gold that can lead to the next big arc. Bro, I would get canceled from everything. If I were to start arguing with these people, it would be the end. And my audience, unironically, I would probably foster a lot of racism in my audience because these people are fucking unbearable.
we were so focused on, well, here's what we're going to create here. Here's what videos we're going to make here. Who's here? This is what we're going to talk to and who we're going to talk with. And we had conversations about who we're going to debate and what kind of issues we want to talk about. My issue I wanted to talk about was food assistance. So we spent more time on that. And I think that, again, this is an example of why trying to cut myself out of an equation doesn't serve me well. It didn't here.
Okay. I have to ask, because I feel like a lot of the time people just think racism is saying and stereotypes. But do you acknowledge that when a person of color says the word racism and they're immediately cut off that that's racist?
Absolutely.
What the fuck? Please, if you're a black woman and you're down for, I'll fully fund you and 3 black friends. I just want to, I'm so curious how far you could get. I'm so curious how far you could get. No, because we shouldn't be trying to destroy our own side. I think you could fully bring down entire progressive orgs, but with just 4 dedicated black women, just creating the most insane fucking rules everywhere. I bet you could do it. Jesus Christ.
Okay. I also want to make clear here, my intent was never to cut you off in a manner to stop you from speaking on this issue. It was that I didn't know what the issue was, and so I wanted to talk about the issue that was already being discussed at hand. I shouldn't have done that. I should have given you the opportunity to speak more on the subject, and I am sincerely sorry for that, and I hope you know I mean that. This is a good learning opportunity for me, in the sense that, 1, instead of trying to cut myself out of an equation, I shouldn't do that again. And 2, I need to ensure that to properly offer transparency, because overall this situation, like across the board with the board blacked it, I need to be doing my part. That part, especially in that moment, was to let you speak. I didn't do that.
Okay. All right. Well, that aside, whether or not I accept that apology, I don't know. I doubt that we're ever going to speak again. So.
All right. Well, I want.
Dude, she is in her queen arc. She's like, do I accept that apology? Maybe, maybe not. I'm never talking to you again, bitch. Oh my god.
Whether or not I accept that apology, I don't know. I doubt that we're ever going to speak again. So.
All right. Well, I want to add here. I think it's also critically important that communicating on this going forward.
She's like, turn up the fan. Turn up the fan while I do this bit.
Is at the forefront of the actions we're taking. Because a lot of this could have been avoided through communication. When that situation unfolded, the first messages I had received were from Ray. And Ray had explained that you folks were expressing your beliefs and your emotions over the situation. But I really wish we had a one-on-one.
I like how they say you folks, so it's not you guys, so that it's not like sexist.
Come on.
I think it's important to just express that we could really communicate in a transparent way to offer more, I suppose, well, I guess to ensure that there's not an argument or a fight. Again, because my mission is to do good. I just don't want to be creating stress for anybody else. I think there were a lot of live streams that have been held about other people. I know, for example, you were on a live stream with Julie and a live stream with Tashika and a live stream with Ray, and I've heard a lot of the things that have been said about me, and a lot of accusations said about me, and a lot of rhetoric said about me. And I'm trying to take a step back, not to step into that, in order to, 1, keep myself away from any issues, and 2, I think that all of that really could just be avoided if we continue to converse through proper dialogues and conversations, one-on-one in a transparent manner. And I mean that sincerely.
Okay.
Unfucking-believable.
Julie said that she texted you.
Mm.
And Ray said that she texted you, and then the last person to speak in that text conversation is her.
Ray and I had a conversation back and forth in regards to that situation. As far as Julie, I've not spoken to Julie in well over weeks before that. There was information that did I just freeze? Never mind. There was information that I had received, and again, I tried to take a step back. And again, I mean this so sincerely and genuinely. I heard information. To everybody tuning in, please know I mean this sincerely. I heard rhetoric that was spoken by.
Listen out! He's like the fucking. He's like playing racism Twister. He's like, I heard a thing from folks, and it was about a person of color BIPOC, and it was incorrect. It was like, bro, what the fuck?
Julie, that I don't support.
It's like Ben Shaver crawling, but it's a black woman with like his TikTok handle like right on her lips. She's like ready to say it, like aim right at me, like ah.
And so I chose to again take a step back from any drama because I attempt to not put myself first in those situations. And my goal here is just to deliver some good. If I'm doing that, then I'm doing my mission. I took a step back and decided no longer to speak to her. This is a really, this is like not the one-on-one conversation I was looking for.
It's like, this is like the end of the movie for like how you end up defeating like ChatGPT in some Terminator 7 ChatGPT movie. It just has to be like a black woman going up to the robot and expecting it to address her correctly, and then it malfunctions and it just fucking explodes.
It feels like, I don't know, this is, again, like, I'm not trying to sound like a victim. That's not what, I feel like I'm putting myself first again. This is what I wanted to avoid. This is what I wanted to avoid.
I think we're past a one-on-one conversation realistically. To be frank, I have very few like absolute no's when it comes to friendship. My boundaries are bigotry and lying to me.
I have very few absolute no's. My boundaries are bigotry, which encompasses about 97% of the behavior that you've exhibited today, you white demon, and lying to me, which who knows what that means.
And you tap danced on the first one, so I don't want to have a one-on-one conversation. And if it were to be a one-on-one conversation, it would have to be recorded.
Right. So, and I understand that, and I'm happy to have that conversation.
For what? Is she gonna take her to racism court? What does that even mean?
However, we can move forward in a way that is doing the most good for others, as I think the most productive way is to ensure we're working together as we have one shared mission. We do all come from different backgrounds and different stances and values.
You'll come from the same background, which is wealthy as fuck, white as fuck, middle class or upper middle class families that all go to colleges, okay? That's all of you. This is the whitest TikTok call I've ever heard in my entire fucking life, okay?
And we're all learning on this in a manner that, while yes, we're online, and there's expectations as online digital personalities or influencers, we're also people who have the shared mission of doing some good for the community around us. Whether that's investing in, as said, Medicare food assistance, or ensuring that we're fighting for a woman's right to choose, that's where our focus ought to be. And that's what we ought to want to work to deliver on.
What we ought to want to? Are you trying to tell her, using AAVE, by the way, you're trying to tell her what she's supposed to want?
If that's, being impeded on by matters like this, then we should work in a way to resolve them.
Please tell him that he has no right to tell you what to want or what to work on. Please let that be your first thing. I don't need you to tell me what I need to work on, white boy. Thank you.
That's my mission. That's my goal. I mean that sincerely. I think that around the entire situation, we ought to ensure that folks are being uplifted who are involved in the equation.
Oh, she was going to say it, but she's like, hold on. Get the fan. Turn the fan on again when I start talking. Hold on.
I've seen folks speak in poor rhetoric involving me, involving Mermaid, involving Dan, involving Santana. People bullying each other, mocking each other, harassing each other. This isn't the way to communicate. Doing live streams where we entertain in front of others and perpetuate this and drag other folks into it. Sure, you need to express these situations because public opinion is important and it makes a movement and it gets work done. But we need to do this in a way where we're not mocking others, where we're not belittling others, where we're not putting others down. Because I've seen a lot of the rhetoric being used and it's so disheartening. And I assume that we all have a shared stance that there's no place in this mission for harassment or bullying.
Wrong.
Okay.
Take him out.
Dean, a question. In the event that Z does not have like accountability for her racism, sorry, I'm outside.
That's all good. Don't worry.
No, go for it. I mean, even though there's a little background noise, we can still hear you.
In the event.
Listen how cocked he is. We got it. It's okay, Queen. Please, it's okay.
That Z does not apologize for her racism, and considering people have called her out on her account, and they said, she said something along the lines of, "This is why people call us like the woke left, yada yada yada." What's if you don't know this question, like answer this question, that's fine. I don't expect you to. What's gonna happen with the tour?
Oh yeah, no. Well, we've already determined
gonna
this.
cancel it.
So we've already stepped away from Z. I mean, so earlier we met with all the creators, and the conclusion is either she steps down, she's no longer the organizer, she's no longer involved with the pack.
Get her the fuck out of here. Who is this lady anyway? What does she even do?
Or we move on from the pack. That's it. So
okay.
Yeah, that's a simple answer, and that's the unanimous consensus that we've seen. And yeah, that's why I came on live today to share. And I also really appreciate you for popping up here and having a conversation with me. John, is there anything else that you want to add on specifically?
Yeah, I think last part is just it's important to understand here that the creators who are involved are people. I'm a person. Dean's a person. We are people. Mermaid's a person. Santana's a person. Sam's a person. We are all people.
No one cares.
So the way that we really ought to deal with these situations is with more transparency, accountability, speaking through communicative manners that offer real dialogue. And we do so in a way that doesn't mock or harass one another.
No.
And we do so in a way that creates more of a educating environment.
You should be harassed.
Because again,
Wrong.
there were a lot of informative.
You don't get to police how black people respond to trauma and racism, white boy.
A lack of transparency in some situations. There were lies, outright blatant lies, and a lot of moving pieces, and not a great communicative structure for like how folks were learning about these situations. I don't know. I take it as what it is, folks who are listening in, or don't. Some folks get entertainment out of this, but for a lot of folks, these are parents. These are folks who have 9 to 5 just like you. These are folks who are just trying to do some good in their community, and there's situations like this along the way, which is a learning opportunity for so many. Please treat it as what it is. Let us learn from this. Let all of us learn from this on the tour, and please, 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 please don't mock or belittle these people or send hate in the way of somebody. Like, try to educate here. Try to educate.
I think that we're people, that's true, but I also think that, you know, like the black women who are affected by, you know, like the racist microaggressions used are black people, and then even in a larger conversation of, you know, racism used against black women in America today on a whole lot of people. And I mean, that's why these conversations are important.
True.
That's why I need to do better. But Johnny, I guess I'm gonna go back just to talk to some.
Yeah, thank you for having me up.
Some things that she has to say.
I guess that was the last thing I wanted to say, aside from this, and you can do what you want with your platform. But considering he's the only person until today that has done anything to support the black women that microaggressed and just straight up aggressed, that were microaggressed or aggressed toward by Z. And also, speaking of, when one of said women, Emma, tried to talk about her experience in one of the comments of Mermaid's videos, Chris actively told her that, quote, the burden of proof is on her to prove that Z was racist, even.
Are you fucking serious? I didn't know about that, my bad. That a black woman was asked to prove something? What the fuck? What?
Chris actively told her that, quote, the burden of proof is on her to prove that Z was racist, even though there are already clips and whatnot circulating. That was fucked up, Chris.
That's
anyway,
crazy.
Before I leave,
really?
Go to Mermaid's page. You're gonna see on her page. She posted her debating someone while she was on the tour. Go down into the bottom of the comments. There's going to be a comment thread with like 30 comments in it.
And she literally said, prove it. Like her being black and speaking it didn't cause it to become reality instantaneously. Don't worry, they're coming back. Hold on, guys.
I think that, you know, like two things can be true at once. I do think that Peyton did a lot of good by specifically like calling out like the microaggressions that he had used against black women on the panel. However, it's also the case that I have some reservations against him as well. I guess maybe we could like discuss them. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we could have dialogue about the reservations I hold against him and the position he holds as well.
You said like discuss him?
You know, discuss them. Right? You know, whatever he wants to talk about, as well as like the reservations that I have with him as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, Sam, is there anything else you want to go over?
No, just that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Sam. I hope you have a good rest of the day. And on a serious note, just before you leave here real quick, I don't know what you or other people watching have been able to tell. This has made me uncomfortable, but I think that's a good thing. In fact, no, fuck, I know that's a good thing. I think that white people need to be uncomfortable with it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die.
In fact, if we're talking
white people should be as uncomfortable as possible. I fully support this because white people just live far too comfortable for far too long. We need to do something with these whiteys. True. Queen.
Racism, if a conversation is not making white people uncomfortable, it's not a good conversation.
Exactly. That's how I feel about black people. Somebody understands me. Yes.
God damn it. Why? Why?
Well, hey, Sam, I hope you have a good one. Thank you. All right, chat. Yeah, what do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to bring up Peyton for a little bit? Maybe have a little bit more dialogue. And by the way, like I want to point out, like the big reason why I'm having like a is because I want to be able to hold myself accountable and become a better person always. As well as just be like super transparent, and I kind of like really value transparency in my platform. My platform is.
I just want to say, if Asmongold ever discovers this drama, then the left is lost. It's all over. Okay.
Out of transparency of discussion.
Oh
people.
no.
But like also simultaneously, I want this conversation to flow. I feel like too often, you know, conversation on these matters, it doesn't happen, and then issues are continually perpetuated. People continue to get hurt. I think that these conversations need to happen. But yeah, we'll talk to Peyton for a little bit. I have some reservations with him. I'm not gonna lie. I'll let him up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna hop off.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna hop off. Hey, Peyton. I don't know if you heard me there, but essentially, I think that you've done a lot of really good things.
Why didn't you talk about any of those when you were on live earlier, though?
Bro, this is the worst group of people ever. Holy shit. Oh my god, how do you live in this world?
Peyton, what?
When you were on live earlier. Why not bring that up when you're...
On live earlier, like referencing like this live, but when it started, or like talk about what specifically?
All you had to say was negative things about and how you guys were heroes for speaking up about this now, but I'm just super curious why that didn't come up earlier. I was
super curious.
I was super cool for speaking out about this.
Hey, I mean, I think that if you would like listen to me since I begun the live, I mean, I started.
I did actually. I've been watching the entire time.
Okay, well then I mean, you know that I haven't been having conversations about that.
Actually, we have multiple times, but that's okay. I have a question for you.
Well, hey, and before we move on, would you be able to like quote like specific instances just so I could better understand what like?
Oh wait, fuck. Oh, this is we already listened to this one. Oh no, we've spoiled it. Fuck, we jumped ahead. Okay, well.
Like interpersonally, that I can't.
That
I'm
you
going to Texas
wanted
A&M,
to leave.
invite all of your black friends.
You said yourself that you did not want to be a part of this tour anymore, Peyton.
If she was a part of the tour, yes.
Okay, so then did you get? Don't you
Any
think that
racist
after
behavior
that?
happened?
So don't you think that after that, after you already making a video?
Some debates. I don't know. Should we do debates? I don't know. I don't know. Am I in the mood? I don't know if I'm in the mood. I don't know if I'm in the mood for debates. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we should just come back tomorrow. Maybe I should go get some dinner with my girlfriend. And like honestly,
is she white?
You know, I think that I need to take time to reflect. To reflect on live, off live.
What?
You know what I mean?
True,
Let's just be
actually.
frank. Let's be honest. Right now, a lot of my attention is on you guys, the chat,
And it needs to be on his own internalized racism. Okay, it grew 100 sizes through conversation.
Take me to, you know, kind of process.
This is why people in these extreme far leftist places, this is why they reflect on their racism so often. It's not because they're so aware of their racism and normal people aren't. It's because these spaces constantly make them more racist every single day and they have to fight against it.
Everything I've shared, and everything that I said as well in a more genuine, meaningful manner. I should probably just not do debates today and go get some food.
True.
I'm gonna go ahead and end. I would like to appreciate and thank everybody so much for joining in the stream today.
Especially the black people.
And I'm gonna do something interesting here.
Okay.
Even the people that came in here, you know, to like see conversations unfold with individuals who have made, you know, who have critiqued me. I want to thank you as well. Just want to thank everybody. What I really want at the end of the day is just a space where free, transparent conversation could be held between rational people who are not only willing to call out when other individuals fuck up, but also willing to hold themselves accountable when they do.
Wow.
See you tomorrow. Peace, love, goodbye.
Just freaking beautiful.